Conspiracies, government cover-ups, Earth mysteries, monster cryptids.
Hospital Reporters Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to this, the 88th Reply to Comments video. This will probably be my last video of 2023. Now, this is a video where I reply to your comments. The title sort of gives it away, doesn't it? The reason I make videos like this is I don't have time to reply by text, but I feel obliged to reply. Now, you may think, well, hang on a minute, because I know a lot of you go to a lot of trouble to make comments. Some of the comments are long, detailed. Some of you are addressing me specifically with a request for information, with feedback, things like that. I appreciate it when you do that. I really do. But I don't have time to reply by text. Now, some of you might be saying, hang on a minute, Ben, I go to all this trouble, as you say, but I only want to reply to one comment. I'm not going to watch a 9-hour video for that. Well, you don't have to, because underneath the comment I'm replying to, I'll put a timestamp saying, thank you for your comment, it will be answered within the first hour of the upcoming Reply to Comments video, and then that'll go to second hour, third hour, fourth hour, fifth hour, etc. Now, so basically, the longest you will have to wait is 1 hour, which is not so bad, is it? And also, my reply to comments videos are not 9 hours anymore. They used to be when I used to do them every couple of months. Now I do them every couple of weeks. So they're much shorter. I also like doing these videos. They're fun. And I know a lot of you like watching them. You viewers, you watch them all the way through, which is great. So, yeah. So that's why I do these reply to comments videos. So that's how it works. So, I'm going to begin with something. Firstly, I'll say something that's kind of like thank you, and then there's something that's kind of amusing. I'll begin with the comments that were left on the live stream, Christmas live stream notices, because I did 3 live streams over the Christmas period: Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. I'll cover the Christmas Eve ones and Boxing Days when I come into Alt Tech, because those were Alt Tech exclusives. But I did post a YouTube notice, although apparently not everyone saw it. Some people didn't get a notification for it. Anyway, it was there, and some of you posted some reply to comments. For example, Cole Costello said, "Happy Christmas." At Ben and to all fellow watchers, listeners, and subscribers. So happy belated Christmas to you, Cole. Jamnoy72, hey Soul Sister, Merry Christmas to you. She says Merry Christmas. D says just a thumbs up. So no, he says Merry Christmas, Ben. Hopefully I'll catch some of the live streams. Thanks, D. I hope you did, and you can get them. They're there if you want to see them, all the recordings. Gary Robinson says, Merry Christmas, mate. I'll try my best to be there. Cheers. Thanks, Gary. You're welcome. Dark Corners UK, Merry Christmas, Ben. Merry Christmas, Dark Corners. Donna Wellham, Happy Christmas, Ben. Happy Christmas to you. Donna Jamnoy72 gives me another Merry Christmas, bro. Merry Christmas to you, soul sister. Israel Diego Rivera, Genius 2, the real genius. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, too. Mark YK gives me a thumbs up. See you on Sunday, Ben, says Rich Horden. And puts a thumbs up, so thank you very much for those. Right, I'm going to do this now because it's quite funny. This is actually an alt. I was going to wait till I get round to Rumble for this, but I'm not going to, because I might forget, because it's so funny. So, alright, I had a very interesting series of comments from a certain Antipodean gentleman on an old video, actually, The Afterlife, a reply to Stefan Molyneux on Rumble. Someone calls St. Crispin's Day Glory. I don't know if that's some kind of drug or what. And he says, Crispin's Day Glory posted this. It's Stefan Molly J-word. Total fucking asshole. A-double-Z-H-O-L-E. Asshole and infiltrator of conservatism. He is a subterranean Marxist communist fraud. Fraud capital letters for profits. He always was. Subterranean Marxist Communist Blues. That's sounds like a good title for a song, that. And then he says, and I say underneath, he says this. And then Crispin carries on, St. Crispin's Day Glory carries on. Another stupid pom talking about spirituality with no mention of spirit. No wonder you lost God and your country. And, my reply to him was, blimey, another shill allegation. Do you really think you're being original? The irony is, no real shill could ever hope to cause as much discord and disruption as Antipodean shiltards like you do. Shut up and go screw a kangaroo, you Foster's gulping Aussie lush. I haven't even looked to see if he's replied to that yet. We'll find out later. But anyway, I thought that was quite amusing. Anyway, let's get on to the... I've got an ad on my countdown clock. Don't want that. Anyway, let's get on to the YouTube comments. Right, this is Basic Project 2023 Christmas Seminars. And this is Keith Smith. He says here, I hope you donated generously to Miles's Xmas knees up. Yes, I did actually. I mean, well, I bought my ticket, and I also bought some stuff for the party as well. So yeah. Okay, so where are we now? Okay, this is Keith, and Keith then says this on the same video: Shrimpton is 100% the Mad Hatter, fitting a special guest for the event. 3 laughter emojis. And Michael Shrimpton says things I don't agree with. He's like he's focused on a certain Central European power is a little bit obsessive, but no, I think he's an interesting chap, and I'm interested to hear what he has to say. So I'm willing to listen to him to hear what he has to say. Yeah, okay. What's this? Right, okay, that's funny. This whole thing is twice. Okay, I've somehow posted 2 comments on the same video. Let me just delete one of them. There we go. I'll delete one of them. Right. Gary Robinson says on reply to comments 87. I'm pretty sure I didn't contribute anything interesting this month. Anyway, pride and dignity, brother. Pride and dignity, Gary. And I hope you had a lovely Christmas. And you don't have to contribute. You don't have to contribute all the time. You contribute so much. And of course, for those of you who don't know, I was in a video with Gary the other day. Yes, I was. It was. Where is it? I don't know how much of this you can see, because as you know, I don't think you see much of this. But anyway, it is. I'll read it out to you. Because as you know, I'm having problems with OBS at the moment. It is the Paranormal Peep Show, and it is on Neil Peel's channel. It's actually called. Where is it?
Monica and I are co-painting together. So
it's called Neil Peel, The Paranormal Peep Show, Flying Spheres and Triangles, The Paranormal Peep Show, Christmas Edition, December 2017. It's a long title. Basically, it is me and Gary and a few other people. So I met Gary. One didn't meet him face to face, but he was there. I was on an online thing with him, talking to him directly. So yeah. So yeah, Gary and I have kind of met. So I'm just going to put the fan on. Hugo Rune says on reply to comments 87, I'm looking forward to this, Ben. Many of my comments to come. Oh, I'm lovely, Hugo. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy it. Gary Robertson says on reply to comments 87, I can't remember if I mentioned this, Ben, but my parents' neighbour, Keith, is a direct descendant of Charles Darwin, apparently. Oh, right. Has he evolved at all? Has he got any sort of large eyebrow ridges? Are his arms very long? That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, of course, Darwin had kids, and presumably he may well have descendants. Reply to comments 87, Hugo Rune. Sadly, I'm not able to travel. I'm sorry, Hugo, I know. But Jam Noise and I will hope to come and see you at some point. Right, Hugo Rune. No medical treatment here. Right, there's a timestamp. Disease to keep the public under control. Yes, Dark Corners. That was very worrying, wasn't it? I think probably talking about COVID there. No, Hugo, you keep yourself healthy, don't you? With your what is it you eat and your various imbibements of drugs. Here we go. Of pressure, shall we say, to actually accept this medical treatment. Oh, I know what it was. Yeah, the public pressure. Yeah, people were put on a lot of pressure to accept this medical treatment. You know what medical treatment I'm talking about, of course. To the point where football fans couldn't. The plan. Well, luckily these plans didn't come to fulfilment in our country, but they did in some. You needed to be tested to ride on a train. All this kind of thing. It's bloody awful. And they said when the phrase V-word passports first emerged, everyone said it's a conspiracy theory. The government are never going to do that. A year later, they were doing it, and they were even calling them that. Right, nothing as it seems. Hello, nothing. How are you? Hope you had a good Christmas. Reply to comments 87. Yeah, I'm actually recording this on what day is it? It's actually Thursday the 28th, 2 days after Boxing Day. 2 days before the New Year's Eve. Oh, by the way, for anyone who wants, I'll say more about this at the end, but there's not going to be a New Year live stream before New Year itself. The reason is simply I'm going to be going away. There will be a HPANWO show on HPANWO Radio on Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Nothing on HPANWO TV till I come back. I will do one when I get back. What have we here? We have a YouTube link here from what's this? And a loads of
Ultimate. Unlike regular toothpaste, it goes beyond.
And an advert, an intrusive advert for fluoride, for an excuse to sell fluoride. Whistleblower says they want to stop you driving older cars. Just waiting for the ad to clear. Wonder what that's all about. Do they? Oh, another ad. Oh, it's another ad. Sorry, guys. This is bloody. How long is this? Oh, it's only 10 seconds.
My hand.
Hello, everybody. This is a letter supposedly...
The channel is number 27.
...by a whistleblower within the insurance industry, the car insurance industry in Germany. It was already being featured on a couple of YouTube channels.
Oh, look, I'll just read the description. It's 14 minutes. It says, digital revolution means the end of older cars. A whistleblower for one of the largest insurance companies in the world has leaked information that show that classic and older cars are under threat. The networked digital car is being pushed as the way forward, but will make existing cars impossible to insure and therefore keep on the road. Oh my God. Oh dear, that's worrying. Yeah, this guy I think is a motoring enthusiast. But yeah, as nothing as it seems says, it would seem that technocracy is well on its way. Clockwork, number 27, aka Jack. Nothing, yeah. I mean, I've only seen a few minutes of that, and I've read the description. It doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me one tiny bit that they are doing this. It's just typical, absolutely typical. Definitely. Reply to comments 87, Hugo Ruin. Oh yes, Jethro Tull, the band, excellent band. Ian Anderson, thanks for the memory. You're welcome, Hugo. Gary Robinson says, all right. Reply to comments 87, Ben mate. Whenever Gary says Ben mate, I know there's going to be something really, really intense coming my way mentally. I have a new theory in regards to the crazy plane lady. I've noticed there are a number of newish movies doing the rounds that seem to be inspired by Blade Runner in regards to the subject of creating artificial humans. Right. Oh, I need to go back to the cinema at some point. Whereas Blade Runner is set in a fictional dystopian version of the world, recent movies including Zoe 2018 and FOE 2023 are set in a version of reality that is closer to the world we live in today. Could it be that these films are giving us a glimpse into something that's happening undercover, and that the crazy plane lady ended up sitting next to a replicant who was being tested to see if they could make a journey and blend in with real human beings? That's a very woo-woo theory, but more realistic than her sitting next to an alien. I don't know if it's more realistic than her sitting next to an alien, but it's certainly possible. I'm just going to copy that comment for a moment, because the reason is I've got plans in the future to do. I'll put it on next year's thing. I'll put on next year's notes. The reason is I'm doing an update to the crazy plane lady. There we go. Just a second. I'm just copying Gary's comment to this article here. I am going to do another crazy plane lady video, and the reason is because there's been a lot of new information about her that's come about. I mean, I've covered a bit of this on HPANWO Voice, but I know none of you watch HPANWO Voice, so oh, that's not the one. It's this one. Here we go. 20. None of you read HPANWO Voice, or very few of you, so I will do another video about it. But thanks, Gary. That's interesting. You know what? It may be. I mean, I haven't watched these videos. I mean, I've watched these things. I have seen a Deus Ex Machina, and that's very good. That was a really good movie with a very surprising ending. If you've never seen Deus Ex Machina, I do recommend it. It's a science fiction film set in the present day. And it's all about artificial intelligence and realistic robots, and it's a bit like Blade Runner. As I said, the ending is rather frightening and unexpected. Right, so Keith Smith says on base. So just to conclude, Gary, I think alien is probably more likely, or reptilian, but replicant, quite possible, mate. Thank you very much for that, Keith Smith. Basis Project 2023 Christmas Seminars. I bet everyone felt enlightened after the event, especially enlightened Pocket. Ho bloody ha ha ha. Yes. Keith, this is the third comment you made implying that Miles is somehow whoever's behind this conference, Miles and whoever else is involved in this conference is doing it. They're just in it for the money, man. They're just in it for the money. Yeah. That's right, David Icke is in it for the money. He quit a job as a bloody TV presenter. He would have been a millionaire now if he just kept his mouth shut. He's just in it for the money. Richard D. Hall, qualified electrical engineer, worked for Rolls-Royce. He'd be on the board by now. He'd be a millionaire. All he had to do was keep his mouth shut. But he's just in it for the money. Miles Johnston, a skilled man again, trained studio engineer. Worked for the BBC, worked for Sky. He has the abilities to get jobs in media if he wanted to. All he has to do is keep his mouth shut. No, he's in it for the money. Keith, shut up. As witty as you are, you're just being really, really bitchy right now. Hugo Rune replied to comments 87. 1 hour 15 onwards, laughing my arse off. Stuff patronising. I'm used to it. Oh, I think I know what this is about. Wheelchair as the villain. I'm quite sure that Hugo Rune will find this bloody patronising. Yes, stuff patronising, I'm used to it. Alright, Hugo. Yeah, you're the perfect person to talk about this. Davros in Doctor Who. The one woke wonder, Russell T Davies, has changed Davros into this weird kind of leather-clad, bald old git. A tall, sort of able-bodied guy who can walk. Because he says, oh, we had a problem with the wheelchair user being a villain. You know, after those brilliant... You know, I was watching an old Davros Doctor Who episode. There was an old Doctor Who episode, I think on Daily Motion or Vimeo or somewhere. And I was watching it. It's really good. And Davros is fantastic in it. Terry Malloy is the guy who played him and did the voice. And was inside, and he had that rubber mask on his face because of that weird head he's got. And he's a fantastic actor, and Davros is a brilliant character. Like the Daleks generally. I mean, he created the Daleks on this planet called Skaro. They're mutants, they're genetic mutants, and they move around in this sort of pepper pot like vehicle. And Davros, well, firstly, it's like a life support system. He's you notice that it looks just like the bottom half of a Dalek, because basically it is. And I just thought to myself, you know, this is like, ooh. To me, I mean, that's really. When we thought it was, we couldn't have a wheelchair like that. It's like I don't know many disabled people. You of course, but I know plenty of like non-white people who are very patronised by this sort of thing. Who find it very patronising and very demeaning, very very infantilising. So I just wondered what you thought about that. And you say patronising, I'm used to it. Yeah, but. You know, do you think you could play a villain? I mean, your avatar looks a little bit like Davros, to be honest. You got this little alien face that looks a bit like Davros. Anyway, interested to hear what you have to say. Hugo. Reply to comments 87. Jamlo72. Hi, bro. I hope you're well. Just made a cuppa and rolled a cig. Lol. Feeds up watching now. Oh, right, cool. I hope you had a good Christmas and thanks for taking part in the live streams. Yeah, and yeah, hope you have a nice new year. Hugo Rune, Emmerdale too. Yes, a wheelchair. I forget his name. It's a long time since I saw that. Yeah, he's I can't remember what his name was, but they had a villain who was like a paraplegic. Yeah, they had a guy who was really a nasty piece of work. I remember, but he was very hated man and a very destructive individual. He was you see in those days no one cared because to him that was the character. You know, there's heroes in wheelchairs as well, and there's lots of heroes and villains who are disabled. I mean, it's a part of what makes the character, and there's nothing immoral about making someone who has a disability a bad guy. It's nothing at all, outside of the horrid little cultural Marxist little cesspit that is Russell T Davies' mind. I almost said Gareth Davis there. How could I mistake those two? Honestly, ugh. And Jam Noise says, Hugo, I'd never push you out of your chair. Oh yeah, I remember his wife, when his wife left him, she pushed him out of his wheelchair, I remember. That was it. Same video, Hugo Rune. Sorry, I just cannot watch anything American. Well, Hugo, it must have been a bit of a problem for you a few years ago, because I know how old you are, and I know that really, until about the 1980s, you know, most British TV was just US imports, you know, Dallas and things like that. And Jamnoy says, my daughter lives there, Hugo, for fuck's sake. I wish she was here. All right, Jamnoy, yeah, I hope you get to visit her soon. I know you're hoping to go over and see her again. I know you did last year. It's difficult when your child lives so far away. It really is. Jamnoy says, Hugo cracks me up. We should all go and visit him. We should have a party there, shouldn't we? Yes. Okay, so I'd love you to visit. Anyone else, please welcome. Tin full of spliffs to share. Maybe that's something we could plan. And Gary's up for coming along too. Yeah. Well, maybe we should think about that next year. Seriously, you know. Yeah. Right. Same video. Hugo Rune. Honestly, I'm lolling a lot now. Robert Rankin. Yes, Hugo Rune is one of his characters. Yes, I am a fan. But yes, I chose that name because I felt the same then. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Jam Noise. Jam Noise says, we love you, Hugo. Hugo says, thank you, Jam Noise. My eyes are wet, thank you. Is that with laughter or with tears? And Dark Corner says, it would be a reply to comments video without our Hugo and his large tin of herbal roll-ups. Absolutely, Dark Corners. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm Robert Rankin. I don't know much about. I think he's a Scottish guy. Let's have a look. I did look him up before, but Robert. Well, I did look. I think he's a fantasy. Robert Rankin, British author. Here we are. Yeah, prolific author of comedy fantasy novels. Now, born in Parsons Green, London. Yes, started writing in the late 70s. I see. Yes, he's not Scottish. Yeah, but he's written a book called The Anti-Pope in 1981, and his latest book came out today, Normangast 2023. Right, the final Brentford trilogy. Oh right, did Hugo Rune said something about that? Hugo Rune is one of his characters. All right, maybe I will have to watch that. Also read it. You know, have a read party. Jam Noise 55 spliffs. Hugo is hard AF. So he's hardcore AF. Yes, he is, isn't he? I mean, he literally has like 55 spliffs in my tin. The next day, 55 spliffs in my tin. He must literally get through them all in one video. Dark Horn says 55. Those are rookie numbers, bro. Jokes. Jam Noise laughs. Reply to comments 87. My cannabis use predates my accident in 1992. I was first introduced to cannabis when I was in the Army, Royal Signals, based in then West Germany, around 1975. I have no pain from my injury. My problem is spasms. Cannabis suppresses it immediately. All right, I see. So, all right, you don't have pain. All right, yeah, my mum had pain from her. She had pain and spasms from her multiple sclerosis, but again, she found that cannabis helped with both. Right, I see. In those days, I think in these days in the army, in the military, they test your urine all the time. God, it's not just that. I mean, I got a friend who works for the tarmac company, and she has to give a urine sample every 6 months or something. They test her for drugs. I mean, talk about Big Brother. Oh my God, it's horrible. I mean, it's awful. I mean, well, how can they do that? How can employers do that? I mean, as long as you're like in your own time, you're off duty, and you're in your own time. What you do should be your business. But of course, it isn't, is it? I mean, I found that out myself. It isn't. You know, certainly when it comes to military and other forms of government service, you're never off duty. And I found that out to my cost. Well, looking back on it, maybe it was for the best. Nothing as it seems. We've got a timestamp. What's this? And he'll admit this. He will go from. He goes to the shop. What's this? Oh, reply to comments 87. Okay, that's odd. Right, reply to comments 87. I'll put it up here so you can see it. I've only got a bleeding. I've only got a bloody Encyclopedia Britannica. Look, Area 51 thing. Oh dear, this is just. Yeah, why is that? I must have talked about Area 51 in some detail, but they always put these little context pages, little context boxes underneath to try and counter misinformation. And I've got an Area 51 one, and it's not under any of my Area 51 videos. It's under my reply to comments 87 video. Oh, anyway. Nothing says pausing again at 24:30. Zen driving comes to mind. What was that? Sorry, let me just. I got distracted there. What was that? And he'll admit this. He will go from. He goes to the shop. He goes to the supermarket. He goes into an office or something. He goes to a GP surgery. He ends up in angry confrontations with people. And he'll admit it's his own. I'm talking about Slaxer, yeah. Zen driving comes to mind. Now, I'm talking about Slaxer, who has really been... I'm a bit worried about Slaxer, actually. Just check. I mean, he admits he makes videos about how he loses his temper and things like that. Slaxer. I can't even find... Where is he? I can't even bloody find him. Slaxer mental health. Here, Slaxer mental health. Bloody hell. Here we are, Asnardo, that's it. He hasn't uploaded anything for 3 months, look. I found there's a way I can get through this. I can get through it like this, you see. This way. That's his last video 3 months ago. Hope he's alright. That was a gaming video. Hey Slaxer, if you're watching, I put a comment on here. Hope you're doing alright, mate. I said, let us know. I'll write another comment here. Let us know you're alright, buddy. Let us know you're alright, buddy. Because I'm a bit worried about him now. I am. I'm a bit worried about him. It's been quite a long time. He's not only quiet for this length of time, you know, and he's not in the best of health mentally, is he? Oh, but anyway, a Zen driving comes to mind. Pausing again, yeah. I don't know what you mean by that. Nothing, as it seems, but yeah. Jamnoy72. Oh, she says laughing my arse off, and I'm off, and this is 1:34:30. There we go. Else is naive. Look how superior I am. Oh, honestly, backslappers. Oh, that's me taking a mickey out the backslappers. Yeah, jam noise. That's right. Okay, rethinking MH370 live stream. Oh, that's still going on. That's still an ongoing thing. Been a couple of updates since then. I put them on HPANWO Voice, so it's worth going and reading now. I'm not sure I'll do a video about them. Warbabe says, very interesting, especially that vid showing the object circling the plane. Did they escort the plane into a black hole or time warp? Right, that is, you're talking about Ashton Forbes's video research. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was, but it certainly, he claims they're real. He says there's no way that could be faked. Others disagree. I think, the idea that anyone can say, well, that could never be faked. Anything could be faked nowadays. Anything could be faked. Is there a reason to think it's not fake? Yes, there's reasons to think it's not fake. And Ashton goes into that on his channel. He's a very prolific creator, so it's the easiest thing to do is follow him on Twitter. That's where you get a lot of summaries of the things he's discovered. It is perfectly possible that those videos are real, and they show the UFOs. Ashton thinks it's secret government technology. I think it may very well be extraterrestrial, but you see them orbiting the plane. There's 3 of them just circling the plane. And then there's a big flash of light, and just everything vanishes. The plane objects the lot. It just vanishes. I mean, there's several people who claim, oh, but no, we've tracked it down. These are all like, they use various video templates, which they put into video templates from like years ago. We've tracked down these templates, but actually, when you as Ashton then looks into this, as he's explained, you know, these are not actually the templates people claim they are, but it turns out they're not actually the templates they thought they were. There are distinct differences. And there are similarities in some of the frames, which could happen randomly, considering the number of frames in the video. So, and often the complexity of the templates. So, no, it hasn't been debunked at all. Although, you know, I would never ever suggest that something definitely is real. If it's a video or an image, in this day and age, you could never ever say, "Oh, that's real. That's definitely real." Because, you know, I don't. Ashton has his reasons for thinking it's real. I'm not sure. I'm not as sure as he is, but still, sounds very interesting. I'm almost halfway way through already. I can't. That's not possible, surely. And maybe I've got a lot more on Alt Tech because I did some Alt Tech exclusive. Anyway, reply to comments 87. We have Gary Robinson again. Best alien song, UFO by Photech. Oh, right. UFO by Photech. I won't play much of it because you know what it's like. UFO Photo. Right. I know there's a song called UFO. I know that from long ago. What's this? Oh, it sounds quite sort of like I'll have a listen to that properly. There's a nice video that goes with it here. So yeah, nice video that goes with it. Thanks, Gary. Right, so Meadows Part 2 of 2. Celtic Cousin. Great Part 2 video, Ben. Really enjoyed your take on Vegas. Glad you got to see Rachel, Nevada. Seems like a great spot. Oh, it was. Thanks, Celtic Cousin. Yeah, I had a great time. I'm so glad I went. It wasn't cheap. It was worth it. It was worth it. It could have been a lot more expensive as well. But yeah, and to visit, I wasn't sure I'd get to the little alien, but I did. I'm really, really happy about that. It's fantastic. Reply to comments 87. David Smith is here after quite a long silence, actually. Ben, the background images used in the fake video have been found. It's a confirmed hoax. No, comma. Know that it needs to be proven a hoax. You shouldn't be accepting it as real to begin with if your goal is to be rational. Know that it needs to be proven a hoax. You shouldn't be accepting it as real to begin with if your goal is to be rational. Okay, I'm guessing you're probably talking about the MH370 footage that Ashton Forbes has been publishing. That's what I'm guessing. Right, firstly, the background images used in the fake videos have not been found. There's several templates going around which several people have claimed are the templates used in the supposed fake video. It's turned out they have not been. They are not the actual templates, and it's not confirmed as a hoax. No, it's not. If it was, somebody would be very rich right now because I forgot who it was, but several of Ashton's people were offering some money, which came to $160,000 US. So nobody has ever claimed it. So whoever made that video has never claimed it. So it's not confirmed as a hoax. Secondly, I think what you mean here. I mean, your grammar's not very good. But I think what you mean here is, no, something doesn't need to be proven a hoax. You should not accept it as real to begin with if your goal is to be rational. Well, the thing is, David, if you listen to me carefully, perhaps watch the relevant video. There are two. There's one called Rethinking MH370, and there's the MH370 live streams. There's two videos you've got to watch. I know that's not that bad. They're not that long. I actually state, in fact, I've even stated in this video as well. I'm well aware that this thing could be faked. I'm well aware. It's possible that the person who faked it has died, or something like that, and so they're not there to approach and claim the money from Ashton. I'm aware of that. I also know very well, and I've explained many times, and I'm surprised you haven't heard me say this because I say it many times in my videos. Visual evidence, images, cine, these do not carry the same evidential weight they used to, because in this modern age, anything could be faked in terms of stills or cine. I'm well aware of that, and I've said so many times. So I don't know why you're reminding me of something that I already know. And I've said so many times. I know very well it doesn't need to be proven a hoax. You see, I think you're putting words in my mouth. Okay, because I've never said that. It's like, what was it older Randy says? I don't know, the Rangers can't fly. I could throw them off the roof of the Sydney Opera House, and I could throw 99 off, and they could all fall to the ground and die. But then the last one, the 100th one, might fly. I don't know that. But the onus, and skeptics love that word onus, don't they? The onus is not on me to prove that Ranger can't fly. The onus is on Santa to prove he does fly. And things like that, old Randy, yeah. Wonder what he's thinking now he's actually in the spirit world. I think maybe he knew deep down. That's a big subject, but I'm well aware of that, David, and I've said so many times. I think you're kind of you're misrepresenting me there, or you failed to understand, or haven't listened to some of the things I've said. And is it confirmed a hoax? No, it is not confirmed to be a hoax. No, it is not. It may well turn out to be. It could be that the source of the video will be discovered. Somebody who knows the dead person who actually created it may come forward and say, hang on, this guy died, but he left this behind. This is in his old computer files. That might happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So it's not confirmed to be a hoax. Anyway, it's good to see you again, David. I've missed you, believe it or not. Right, Gary, Ben, mate, I've just come across a film from 1945 called The Man in Half Moon Street. That sounds familiar. I was shocked when I read the plot summary for the movie, which is as follows. A British doctor and painter must kill for the glands he needs to stop the aging process. Since you're acquainted with Mark Devlin, I'm guessing you've seen the videos of Dean Martin talking about the very same thing on a 1960s chat show. Oh right, I haven't heard that. I do know Mark Devlin, and I watched as many of his videos as I can. And also Sandra Bullock being hushed on Oprah when she brought it up during an interview in the 90s. Oh, I have seen that. Yes, I've heard that. Because she looks young, doesn't she? Yeah, I don't know how old she is, but she looks very young. Oh, right. And let's think, I mean, all these elitists don't have to live a long time. I mean, Henry Kissinger has finally popped off at the age of 100, and he's 101. He's finally popped off. David Rockefeller was the same age. Thing is, these guys could have been older, and they've just faked their own age. Because let's face it, who knew them when they were young? If they were older than that, say they were 120, 100, so they were hypercentenarians, 120 plus. Who would be able to prove them wrong? Who would be around? Who would be someone who they knew when they were young who is still alive today? But I mean, the Sandra Bullock thing with Oprah is very interesting. Yeah, and she said, I'm really shocked that this subject is being covered in a film from the 40s. It just goes to show they were inserting this kind of thing into movies from day one. Let me just look that up again. The Man in Half Moon Street. Here we are, The Man in Half Moon Street, 1945. That's just HD trailer. Some of these old movies are actually freebies. Right, Half Moon Street. I'll see if I can find it. It's not on YouTube, but some of these things do sort of float. Some of these old movies do turn up in various places. I think Jam Noise is an expert at digging up old movies in illicit places. So Jam Noise, I'll be in touch with you about that. Yeah. Must kill for glands. It needs to stop the age. I read a book about this. Where is it? I read a book about this. Tess Gerritsen. If you've never heard of Tess Gerritsen, American novelist, right? If you've never heard of Tess Gerritsen, do check her out. Tess Gerritsen, here we go. Chinese-American novelist. Well, from San Diego, loved the Nancy Drew novels, and decided to start writing. She medical degree, so she's a doctor. Let's have a look what she does. Right. Let's have a look at her books, because there's one I read. What's it called? Oh, life support. I think it's life support. Is it life support? The Bone Garden. I know. I'll just look it up. This is because this is really interesting. If you get hold of this book, it's bloody interesting. It's a damn good book. I've got a copy of it somewhere. I'll see. I'm just going through the cover images here. I can't show you. I won't bother showing you these because you can't see half of them anyway. Oh, I can't bloody find it. Anyway, it's about? It's set in like a lot of her books. I read one of the others as well. It's set in a hospital, and there's no porters in it, but it was interesting me stuff in medical thrillers. I'm a big fan of Robin Cook and those kind of the Robin Cook series. He was he was also an American author. Not the British guy, not the politician who got suicided or heart attacked. I'm talking about an American who was a doctor and an author. I think this may well have inspired Tess Gerritsen. They're very similar. I've always loved those kinds of books. Now, Tess Gerritsen wrote a book, I've read, and I think I gave it to my dad. I'll try and find out what it is. And it's set, I mean, in as a doctor who's doing weird things. Now, firstly, there's these old people who are like very, very fit and healthy for their age. And then there's also these young single mothers who suddenly become pregnant and they don't know why. And basically, it's a horrific experiment to do exactly that, to create glands or to create things that produce chemicals to stop the aging process. Brilliant book if you can find it, and I can't think of the title. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's been covered all the way back to at least 1945. And then you have people like Henry Kissinger and Robert Mugabe, Prince Philip. They all end up living till they're really, really old. You know, David Rockefeller was, God knows. I mean, they may be older than they say, like I said. Gary Robertson continues on reply to comments 87. I think it was The Lights Were Low that mentioned the new woke Doctor Who Christmas special that came out recently. I mean, I mentioned it too, Gary, yeah, but I think Lights did as well. I've not seen it as I'm not a Doctor Who fan. Gary, if you were a Doctor Who fan, I'd assume you would not have seen it. Because most of them are refusing to watch it. But I've been keeping up with the backlash. I'm sorry to say that none of these production companies seem to be backing away from woke culture, as there are so many more films and TV shows planned than in the works right now. So, Gary, definitely not. Especially the ones that are state subsidies, like the BBC, which is actually a state-owned organisation. It's owned by the government, and they get paid at the end of the day, no matter what. What's more, they're in partnership with Disney now. Oh, good. I mean, that's always a storm warning. That. Whenever anyone says, "Oh, we've sold the rights to Disney," yeah. As I said this on the live stream the other day, they're doing it to the X-Files. Gary continues. My advice to anyone who's into films and TV show is keep your DVDs and Blu-rays. Yeah, because we're now starting to see movies being edited online for censorship purposes upon the orders of the woke weirdos. Absolutely, Gary. You took the words right out of my mouth. I brought this up on I think it was either the Boxing Day or the Christmas Day live stream, yeah. Get the DVD, don't rely on online streaming services anymore. You can't. It's like Kindle with books. You can't rely on them anymore. Because look what they've done to if you have a Roald Dahl on your Kindle and you've got it, given it to your kids, it automatically updates to the new politically correct version without you doing anything, without your permission, without you doing anything. You need to, I mean, Puffin have backed down, they've caved in, and they are going to keep the original Roald Dahl Classic Edition in print, but you need to buy the bloody paperbacks. Buy the paperbacks, buy the DVDs, yes. Gary continues, if you have it on disc, then you will always have the original version to refer back to. Correct. Why do you think I've got this huge pile behind me? Can you see it? That's what I've got, that massive pile behind me. I know I've got tea bags there as well, but look. I know most people who don't even have those now. They just have them on. They just sub to Netflix or Amazon or something. And they just. This is why I bought the Silent Night DVD, and as you know, it's worth getting them just because on the Silent Night DVD, you actually get like outtakes which you can't find anywhere else. Gary continues. Interestingly enough, I think it was Film Threat that recently just detailed the fact that woke movies that have failed at the box office are now receiving extremely limited physical media runs as a result because they're not expected to be able to shift many copies. Exactly. I mean, this is what's happening with Roald Dahl. I mean, this is why basically Puffin backed down, because they know very well that there's going to now be two editions of the books. One is going to sell like 40,000 a week, and the other is going to sell 40 a week. What are they going to do then? Because I was always scared they might try and pull the classic line at some point off the press and keep when all the furrows died down and people aren't looking, they might just quietly axe the classic edition. But that's going to be a hard sell for the shareholders, isn't it? We've got two editions of this book. One is making 10 times as much profit as the other, but we have to pull the more profitable line. Do you mind? No? Oh yeah, go ahead. Waste our money for us, will we? Oh, right. It's also been claimed recently that at one point Indiana Jones 5 was not even going to receive a physical media release due to lack of interest. Cheers. Well, Gary, these days a lot of films are not. There's no DVD run for films. Never. Some of them are not. I mean, luckily some of them. I mean, I do look for them if they're good. Only if they're good films, I like them. I will look for a good run. Now, unfortunately, this includes some really good ones like The 11th Green, which there's no DVD run for The 11th Green, which is a shame, because that is very good if you've not seen it. The 11th Green. Here we go. It's really good. It's about UFOs. It's about the UFO cover-up. And there is no unfortunately there is no. It's got 75% approval on Rotten Tomatoes, which is brilliant. Funny enough, the new woke Doctor Who, right? You should see the Rotten Tomatoes results for that. It's hilarious. Like, critics score 100%. Of course, the critics don't dare say anything rude about something that's woke, do they? They're too funny. They're too scared to say what they really think. So they say, oh, it's a wonderful, progressive message, full of diversity, equity and inclusion. We all love it, man. As it happens, only 9 critics are in that particular result. Audience score, 48%. Thank goodness for Rotten Tomatoes. Anyway, Gary, thanks for that. Thanks for interesting that. Yeah, I may say more about that at some point. Okay, we have Roy Bland. All right, I remember he made a quite interesting comment last time. What's this? Right, Roy Bland, you seem to have misunderstood my points, so let me explain more clearly. All right, well, I did do my best to read through them and answer you, Roy. Number stations are usually spoken by synthetic voices. All right, this is the guy who talks all about radio communications. This is when I was referring to. This is my video about the Twitter voicemail scandal straight away. Yeah. Human voices are used, but this is very, very rare. I know. Well, certainly in the case of Ty's voicemail, that was certainly, I think, in his synthetic voice. Phone calls have human interaction on both sides. They use codes, handshakes, to confirm their identities. This way, they avoid mistakes. Right. This is the phone. This is when phones are like connecting. Yeah. I'm with you so far. These two facts, along with the fact that this person received the call instead of making it, shows that it was a hoax. Phone messages are not done in the same way as this hoax, for the reasons I've stated. Right, so you believe that because of this handshake system, a mistake could not have been made. Therefore, it had to be a hoax. Right, well, I don't have the knowledge to prove you wrong on the first part. Certainly not, the codes, the handshakes. But I do. If it was a hoax, you've got to ask the question. Well, who made the hoax and why? Firstly, who's behind it? Why send such an elaborate hoax to somebody who would react the way that he did, rather than someone like me? You see, if they sent it to me, there's always because I'm into this sort of thing. There's always the chance that I would pick it up and run with it. I mean, I'm not sure I would actually. I would probably publicise it, but I wouldn't react the way Ty had done. Unfortunately, they sent it to someone who doesn't believe in this sort of thing, and indeed, in terms of his profile, his personality profile from his social media, it's very obvious that he doesn't. I mean, his political beliefs, other elements of his. I mean, I could see this from the very, very moment. Let alone some big psychologist. He's a part of a community for whom belief in this sort of thing, weird stuff, is virtually non-existent. I'm literally the only exception I can think of is Jay Posadas. I've done an entire video about him. So, why was he targeted with this hoax? Perhaps you could answer me that. I mean, this is the sort of thing. Okay, so secondly, you wondered if anyone still has the equipment to receive number stations. The answer is yes. Anyone with an internet connection can access number stations online. There are websites to provide real-time updates on the transmissions and links to listen to them. Search Priom schedule. I've actually, I know, Roy, since I last addressed you, I have actually found a couple of resources which actually do allow you to scan like the airwaves, the analog airwaves, to see if there's anything there. Yeah. They also offer software-defined radios, SDRs, that can tune into any shortwave frequency and mode of transmissions. The SDRs are fully functional and simulate having your own high-end multi-mode radio and large antenna. Right. So this is like a kind of scanner. So that's interesting. Well, I know a little since I last replied to you. I did go and look a bit of this up actually. Yeah. Right. The paragraph I wrote about audio quality was relevant because you made a wrong connection between frequency and audio quality. Yeah. Well, not necessarily. Well, maybe I made a mistake about some technical detail, but I don't think, if I remember rightly, it was not relevant to the point I was making about Ty and his voicemail. Fun facts. Number 1. Number stations always transmit the same amount of numbers for that station. You hear the header always the same, and then the message proper always the same amount of numbers. All right. I didn't know that. I mean, the header would be like the Lincolnshire poacher, you know, is that what you mean? 2. The BBC News Service always transmitted the chimes of Big Ben live. Now they use recordings. Can you reason why? Oh well, the second one it's because Big Ben hasn't actually chimed for a couple of years now. It's undergoing a massive repair schedule at the moment. I remember during they were trying to, because it did actually chime during the coronation, and on Brexit Day, that is on the 31st of January 2021. And I will be covering that this year, the anniversary. There was a campaign to try and make it chime, but instead we had something called Little Ben, which actually did the chimes for us, which is like a recording. So I think that's why. Incidentally, another little fun fact that's not really relevant. Parliament's going to have to move. There's going to have to be another Parliament building, a new one set up somewhere. The reason is because the entire Palace of Westminster is in really bad shape. This building, this 700-odd-year building, is going to need like a lot of repairs. It's repairs that could take 6 years or more. So there's going to have to be like a new Parliament, at least for temporary purposes. Yeah. Oh, maybe I'll say more about that when we find out more. Jamnoy says something to Crafty Nihilist here. Right, because I think there was some confusion between them. And then Gary Robinson says on reply to... Sorry, no. That was Jam Noise's comment was on reply to comment 87. Yeah. Anyway, Roy, thank you very much for all that. I hope I have misunderstood you correctly now. But again, I don't agree with everything you said here. At least I don't agree with the first bit you said here about Ty. Why him? Why was he targeted with this hoax? Gary Robinson says on Basis Project 2023 Christmas seminars. For some reason I missed this when you first uploaded, so finally watching now. Cheers. You're welcome, Gary. Hope it was a bit of Christmas entertainment for you. Same video. Gary Robinson. Ben mate, did you see the news reports about people in the Peruvian village who claim they were held hostage by tall aliens? I only scanned the article, but from what I could see, a young girl had a photo of one of them on her phone. There were some reports that the aliens were in fact people dressed up who were posing as aliens so they could keep the villagers in their homes while they raided the local area for gold, which is apparently found in abundance there. I'm not entirely sure that explanation makes much sense, but at the same time, I don't suppose aliens keeping people locked in their homes temporarily makes much sense either. A weird story all round. Cheers. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I have heard of this. Where is it? Let me just find this out. Alberino. Yeah, the place to go for this more information is Timothy Alberino. This is a guy who actually used to live in this area. He lives in the United States now. But his channel is very interesting indeed. He's a kind of like, I suppose he's a kind of real life Indiana Jones type figure. And he's got loads of. He's actually been on an expedition. He actually visited the area. He's done numerous interviews about this. He's been covering this for a number of months now. There's this one here, it's not that one there. There's one called Aliens Attack a Village in Peru. This is right. What happened was. This is all very interesting stuff. Yeah, there's been several theories about this, but it sounds pretty horrible. For example, one girl had a very serious injury to her face, a girl of age about 15, I think. There was numerous mobile phone images of these. A couple of mobile phone images show some kind of humanoid standing on the roof of a house, things like that. Now, the fact of the matter is that there are illegal miners in that area. Now, they basically set up quarries and mines in the forest. Now the Amazon rainforest is protected by the government, but the government is so corrupt and ineffectual that everyone just, there's loads of like cowboys and crooks that just break the law. And what they do is they often harass the local indigenous people to get them to move away from the area they want to exploit and they want to quarry. And they have various ways of doing this. Usually it involves like intimidation, like bullying and intimidation. They'll use violence. They'll attack people. They'll sometimes kill farm animals. They'll sometimes burn houses and things like this. It's a really horrible thing, actually. And as I said, the Peruvian government and Brazilian government just do nothing about it. And things like that. So and then the people they usually send in their thugs, who are usually armed bandits, basically, to harass them and force them out. And I mean, if you want to look at like the Project Censored on Nexus and things like that, they cover this sort of thing. John Pilger's covered this too, like the horrible things that happen in that part of the world. This is different. There's a theory going around that this is all. What we're looking at is just this. These illegal miners have managed to get hold of jetpacks, and they've disguised themselves as aliens. Now that is a perfect example of the clown's day off fallacy. Jetpacks, I've seen them being demonstrated. I mean, the military are sort of like trying them out for soldiers, and I've seen soldiers trying them out. And they've been adapted as a leisure thing as well. Do you know how much they cost? Almost £500,000 each, a jetpack. And they have a very limited range in terms of altitude and in terms of duration. £500,000 each. Why would an illegal mining company spend £500,000 buying a jetpack and then getting costumes for their paid mercenaries to go and fly around pretending to be aliens, when usually a baseball bat and a pump-action shotgun and a flamethrower does the trick just as well? All they need to do is scare these people away. All they need to do, like I say, is beat a couple of them up. Sometimes people do get killed, burn down their houses, kill a couple of cows on the farm, things like that. Why go to the trouble of dressing up as aliens when the established methods of brutality work perfectly well? But yes, do look at Timothy's channel, because it's very interesting. I don't think he's right about everything. I think he makes some mistakes, but this is a guy who comes from that area. He's lived in that area. Do check it out. All right, we are back now on Apollo Detectives 13 New Sea Rock Evidence. Neil Peel, the Paranormal Peep Show. Here's first. Neil gets it first. Well, I'm tempted to give you your gold tinfoil hat, Neil, but you did have a bit of inside intelligence, didn't you? Keith Smith says on the same video, awesome, another live stream from the Apollo dunces. Oh my goodness me, how do we dispute such a carefully crafted rational treatise as that? Neil says, well, you got it wrong. It was not live, and we certainly are not dunces. But awesome it is. Thanks, Neil. That's true. Right, we have here a reply to comments 87. Black Sheep Detecting says, disappointed my question was ignored. All right, I actually put a text comment in reply to Black Sheep Detecting. It's a good name. You've certainly achieved something when you're watching this video. I'll tell you if you live up to your name. Finding this video is certainly a goal you can achieve. I actually said here, I don't know what you mean. I liberated all comments from the spam folder before recording. It could be your question was invisible to me because of the vagaries of YouTube. Please repeat your question and I'll answer it next time. Well, he, she or it didn't do that. Apollo Detectives 13 New Sea Rock Evidence. Neil says, Steve Mumbling is actually in it, Ben, but only as a reference to his earlier appearance and his challenge of testing out the wet flag idea. Yeah, Steve has made a video on his channel which is like full of utter crap. It's a load of insulting bollocks. Yeah. And I've actually put a text comment on there. He's given me a long reply, and he's now demanding that want to know why. Why is it that why didn't I reply to him? And I've put a reply saying, I can't be bothered, Steve. I've got more important things to do right now. Okay, same video. Apollo Detectives again. Stan Smith says, I'm going to start off a new conspiracy here. Ben is Winston Churchill's great grandchild. You got a great channel here. Knowledge is power. Thanks, Stan. Much appreciated. Well, I don't know. Do I look like him? Never in the history of war has so much been owed by so people to so few. I'd say what, a BBC actor recorded that. That's not Churchill even speaking. There's the guy who used to do the Winnie the Pooh stories on BBC Radio. He was like a 1930s radio star. He actually did all of this sort of thing. Oh, that's the end of an hour. Right, but anyway, I'll just carry on a little bit because Churchill's grandson is called Nicholas Soames. Now, he actually, I believe, is Nicholas Soames, British Conservative Party politician. He is the grandson of former Prime Minister Winston Churchill. This guy here, don't know how much you can see of him. I don't know if you can see much of him here. Hang on, no, you can't actually see much of him here. Yeah, he's the grandson of Winston Churchill. You can Google him. That'll make me his son, I suppose. Well, if he is, then the man I call my father is kept that very quiet. Well, the man I call my father is actually not my biological father anyway. But the guy who is my biological father, who I hardly ever see, he hasn't said anything either. Maybe he's not my bio dad. Maybe Nicholas Soames is. In which case, that conspiracy theory is true. Maybe paternity is a great source for conspiracy theory. Lewis Hamilton, I'm sure, is Barack Obama's son. I mean, look at them. Look at the two of them together. Original Dwarn Boy says, "Hang on, I'll cover this in hour number 2. We'll come to the end of an hour now." And welcome to hour number 2 of Reply to Comments 88. And so where were we? We're Dwarn Boy. Yes, Dwarn Boy was saying something. Yes, he was. Original Dwarn Boy says to Stan Smith, "Don't mention that warmonger in the same breath as Ben." Well, Dwarn Boy, thanks for. I think mentioning him doesn't mean that I'm associated with him politically or in terms of what he did, because I know, like a lot of people, he wasn't the divine hero that history has called him that. I mean, history has a habit of doing that, actually. It tends to make angels and demons out of people. People who are perfectly mortal and flawed, and in some cases very different to how they're portrayed. And I know Winston Churchill is one of those people. So, if I don't mind if Stan Smith wants to come up with this. I mean, it's always a possibility. Maybe I do look like him. I'm a few years younger than he was when he's most often filmed, but still, yeah. So, Leave the World Behind review. Contact Times says, I thought it was okay, although a bit, quote, just found conspiracy theories in the last year or two via memes on the Instagram, and here's my synopsis of them, unquote. Yes, it is a bit. It has a kind of immature conspiratorial feel to it. I know what you mean, Contact Times. A lot of the things are quite cliche, the sonic weapons and stuff like that. And he says, with the usual contemporary dose insinuating that anyone with a skin tone lighter than a cardboard box is inherently racist. Yes. Oh, of course, yes. They've got to have that. We just had that shit with Doctor Who. And I mean, I did pick that up. I didn't sense it as much as some people did, but I did pick that up, especially with the Ruth character, obviously. She was very anti-white. Same video, Contact Times said here, I'll just add that in the last few years, during a period conducive of truly highly strange conditions. Alright. I've twice now had a deer walk out or appear in front of me when driving. Both times totally surreal, as reality suddenly went incredibly still just before their appearance in the middle of a dusk or dawn time roadway. Oh, that's interesting. Contact Times, your username is pretty interesting there. It could be you are looking at basically some kind of screen memory of something else that's you experienced. Thanks very much. Jervish 1966 says on Leave the World Behind review, white lion is probably an alchemical term. It may well be. I mean, a lot of people are making a big deal out of all the kind of little things in the film. The film now has a reputation of being absolutely infested with secret codes of various kinds. And people have been watching it over and over and over to try and locate them. I know someone's reported that their spouse has watched it like 10 times now to try and pick out all the Easter eggs, basically pausing it almost every frame. I mean, the ship called White Lion. I mean, the White Lion is a heraldic term. It refers to the monarchy of Scotland, which is said to be a very, very powerful monarchy. I mean, it is indeed. I mean, of course, for several. There was an entire dynasty. I mean, there were several, the Stuarts, of course, which were on the throne of England for a while, were a Scottish monarch. So yeah. Same video. Rolling Fort 1 says, "Am I first, second, or have I missed the boat again? Say it ain't so, Ben." Let's have a look. Rolling Fort 1. I'm afraid you are bronze. No, you are a bronze tinfoil hat winner. So it'll be right. It'll be on its way to you very, very soon. Reply to comments 87. TKUK says, "It could be the Russians, the aliens, or the ghosts. Don't forget the ghosts, Ben." Oh, I never do. It could have been the ghosts or the monsters. Maybe it was not the Russians, but actually the monsters. Right. I don't know exactly what context you're referring to here. Did the Russians, the aliens, or the ghosts do what? I mean, I know I blame, and certainly not the Russians. I actually take the mickey out of people who blame the Russians for everything. I do, of course, as you know, blame the aliens for an awful lot of things. So, what exactly are you referring to then? And TK replies to his own comment. "I mean, da monsters, not the monsters. Do you know of da monsters?" Yeah, da monsters is what backslappers call monsters, or the monsters. Da monsters, man. Yes, I'm so superior, man. Look at me. Let's have a look. Leave the World Behind review. Peter Bernard says here, "White Lion apparently was apparently the first slave ship to land us on the mainland." So land on the US mainland. Big Obama influence. They own the production company. Oh, what? Hang on. Let's have a look at this. Because if that's true, that would bloody explain it, wouldn't it? White Lion ship. Here we go. The White Lion. Right. The White Lion was an English privateer operated under a Dutch letter of marque, which brought... Oh, yeah. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, here we go. Which brought the first Africans to the English white male colony of Virginia in 1619, a year before the arrival of the Mayflower. Right, yes. Though the African captives were sold as indentured servants, the event is regarded as the start of African slavery in the colonial history of the United States. Well, indentured servitude is a form of slavery, but that explains it. Right, okay. Thank you very much for that information, Peter Bernard. I think that explains why they put that in there. Yeah, definitely. TKUK says on reply to comments 87, "A riband is a long, narrow strip or bar used in shipbuilding. Hashtag do zero research next time." Oh, shut up. Bloody hell. Honestly, man, the research police are on patrol again. And I'm off today, so relaxing and doing just nothing, like listening to your videos. Like watching a stupid film when you're off. Oh, blimey. Well, you see, TK, you right. Firstly, you don't fool me. You watch too many of my videos to really. I mean, if you deep down you do like them, don't you? Come on, admit it. Yeah, a riband, right? I didn't. For the first place, right? If you want to tell me what a riband means, you don't have to be sarcastic about it and use stupid, demeaning hashtags. Just tell me what it means. That's all you have to do. But I mean, really, that's a completely irrelevant context because I did look up what riband means, and it apparently is an archaic spelling and pronunciation for the word ribbon, meaning a strip of fabric used to decorate clothing and for other purposes. All right, that's what a ribbon means. And indeed, a blue ribbon actually was in the French aristocracy was a sign of nobility. Indeed, the term cordon bleu, which means blue ribbon, is used for example, very posh restaurants is referred to as cordon bleu cuisine. But yeah, the riband and ribbon are the same thing. Ribbon, RIBBON, is simply a more modern spelling and pronunciation of the word. Language changes and evolves, you see. The thing was, the reason I brought this up, and you haven't even referred to the context here at all, is that there is a chocolate biscuit called Blue Riband. and it's been around for a long time, and I used to eat it when I was a kid, and I recall it very distinctly recall it being Blue Ribbon. And this is an example of the Mandela effect. So perhaps you'd like to comment on that. If you don't believe me, fine, let's discuss it. Right, Leave the World Behind review. Nice one, Ben, says Hugo Rune. Thanks, Hugo. Get them spliffs down, you old son. Apollo Detectives 13, Blue Ribbon. Enjoying a few... Sorry, Blue Ribbon. I got blue ribbons on the head now. Hugo Rune says, enjoying a few spliffs during this. Nice one, Ben. You're welcome, Hugo. Hope you like it. Leave the World Behind review. Tessal1111 says, Rose left the world behind. That's the key. Yeah, I mean, of course she did. She went into the bunker. But she didn't shut the door behind her. And I suppose that's... the clue is, I think, that... presumably, at some point, the rest of the main characters were going to join her in the bunker. Is that likely? Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was. I just thought it wasn't very well done. It's very truncated. I mean, open-ended stories are actually not a bad thing. They can be good. Silent Night is very open-ended. I left my novel Rockall I deliberately left I left a strand open at the end. But I think in Leave the World Behind, it's actually done very badly. It doesn't look like an open ending. It just looks like someone's just sort of like said. The editor has just sort of said, "All right, then that's it, no more." For no reason, maybe they just, I've had enough for one day. I'm going to just stop editing now, and I'm going to just chuck this in and put it. I'll just say that's a wrap. We're just going to put that out. We're just going to send that out to the theatres. That's the feeling I got. So yeah, definitely. The Apollo Detectives 13, Hugo Rune. Artemis, that is one of my names. That's right, Artemis Solon Grace, whatever it is, Rune. Hugo Artemis Solon Grace. I can't remember what your whole name is. I know it's from Ian Rankin. I know it is now, yeah. TKUK says on Apollo Detectives 13, to be known as being a stupid with a capital letter, or to be known as to be a liar, capital letter, I think I'd prefer to be known as stupid. It's fundamentally only you who gets to decide which you are known to be to yourself. Oh yeah, I mean, well, obviously, no. If you're a liar, yeah. If you can be stupid and be honest. If you're a liar, obviously you're deliberately giving out false information. If you're stupid, you're not. You're giving out information which is false, which you think is real. So yeah, I prefer stupid people to liars, definitely. And I agree with you, TK. I don't know why that's relevant to the video, but Neil says underneath, we hope you learned a few things. Exactly, yes, I hope you did. I hope you did too. Leave the World Behind. InsurTech. Tesla out of control. X down and satellites fucked. I don't think Musk ordered this. I honestly think he's probably not a fan of this film, InsurTech. I mean, presumably he may have said something that allowed them to. They may have checked with him beforehand. A good producer will do this, but to use his product in the film in a very in the manner that it was, in the context that it was in the film, could be interpreted as defamation. Now, a good producer will have got their lawyer onto it, and probably there may have been negotiations with Elon before having them in the film. I mean, to have them in the film is very simple. I mean, if you couldn't get a deal with Elon, it's very simple. You just don't call them Teslas. You just don't use the word Tesla on the cars, because the cars are all labelled with the number plate Tesla. They don't have normal number plates indicating they've come from a showroom or factory, and that's all you do. So presumably Elon either doesn't mind, or the lawyers looked into it and they've got some kind of disclaimer. I don't know. All right. Reply to comments 87. There's a big long comment here from, who is this? This is Jim Skin Pivot. Oh, he's back. He's back. Right. Jin. Yes, there is evidence. Bill Casing. Casing presented zero evidence of any hoax, Ben. No, he didn't. He got the idea to claim NASA faked it from a Vietnam veteran named John Grant, and the suggestion only came up in 1974. Bill Casing in an interview. This is my quote. And that's exactly where I got the idea from. John Grant in 1974 at the Oakland Marina. Prior to that time, I, like everyone else, believed that we went to the moon. Right. who interviewed him is quite important. It was Bart Sabrell. The full section of the interview that follows. Well, quote, well, there's a lot of homeless people near where we stayed at the Oakland Marina, so we invited them to come and stay on the boat. After all, it was 75 feet long, lots of room. Well, that's kind of them. So one of the men was a Vietnam veteran with a heroin habit. His name was John Grant, and he said, Bill, the government really screwed me. They taught me how to kill, and they sent me to Vietnam. I killed a lot of innocent people, he says. Quote, I'm very bitter at this corrupt government. He said, you're a writer, why don't you write something outrageous like, say, we never went to the moon? Unquote. And that's exactly where I got the idea, from John Grant in 1974 at the Oakland Marina. Prior to that time, I, like everyone else, believed that we went to the moon. Right. Well, Jin, do you have a reference for that? Because what you're saying here is essentially a confession from Bill Casing. A confession. Not only a confession, not a confession on some 2-bit, 3-digit news channel, a confession to Bart Sabrell. Now, did Bart Sabrell ever interview Bill Casing? Let's have a look. I mean, I've interviewed Bart, you know. You could have helped by... You could have actually put in a citation. What it means is, okay, I can find one. Right. Oh, this is... Hang on, this is... Let's see. This is YouTube, so there's going to be all the usual mainstream stuff first. Alright, well, obviously you can't find this sort of thing on YouTube, but... Jin, you haven't provided a source, so I'm going to have to look it up. I mean, if this is pretty incriminating, so I'm actually frankly surprised you haven't rubbed my face in it by simply providing a citation. But could you do so, please? I mean, surely you don't want to lose the opportunity, do you? Because you will really gloat over this if this is true, and you'll be right to, because this is a confession. So come on, let's have a citation from you. Thank you very much. Jin says on same video, reply to comments 87. I'm surprised you haven't put these on the Apollo videos. Quote, Jin, yes, there is evidence. There is a theory. A lot of this is classified, unquote. Not sure if that's a tautology, an oxymoron, or a bit of both, Ben. Yes, there is evidence. There is a theory, and a lot of it is classified. No, I think it's neither, Jen. So firstly, evidence exists in the form of leaked material, alternative sources, things like that. There is a theory, yes, I can't prove any of this, and a lot of this is classified. That's true. So all of these statements, these three statements, are not mutually exclusive. And here we go. A. Theory is a suppression or a set of ideas. Is a supposition or a set of ideas. Quote, evidence is a body of factual material which in itself establishes an actual event or occurrence. Yes. Correct, yes. There's nothing I disagree with in that sentence. Alright, 99.9% of Apollo hoax material is from in-missionary imagery, with the remainder being rubbish about a capsule fire and a man who was somehow compelled to beat a train to a crossing with his family in a car. Right, you're referring to the Apollo 1 situation. Yes, the three astronauts in Apollo 1 were killed in a fire during a test. And secondly, Thomas Ronald Barron, a NASA safety inspector, was killed because his car happened to break down on a level crossing just when a train happened to be coming. Awful bad luck, that, isn't it? Yeah. But the thing about it is you say it's rubbish about this. It's not rubbish at all. It's not rubbish. I mean, there's just so much that happened that didn't happen, and there's all kinds of anomalies associated with both those deaths. Right, finally, and then he says, so anyway, what is it that's both classified and pre-mission hoax evidence, which is not only known about, but also stronger than mere theory? You never said. Right, what's classified and pre-mission hoax evidence? Well, in a sense, it's not so much what's there, but what's not there but should be. It's these various lacunae. Let me just look it up. There we go. Apollo 1. Yes, planned to be the first manned mission of the Apollo program. Gus Grissom, Ed White, Robert B. Chaffee they were killed. Yeah. Apollo manned test flight plans. Now, okay, what it is? It's firstly it's Grissom's attitude and the other astronauts' attitude. The fact that they were big critics of NASA's health and safety policy and their planning. Thomas Ronald Barron was another. And then there's the lack of a proper inquiry. So that is the evidence. Essentially, what should be there and isn't. So that's pre-mission hoax evidence. Presumably, what's classified is the true story, and the reason why that is not there, why there's this lacuna in the official story, which is not only known about, but stronger than mere theory. You never said. Not only known about, stronger than mere theory. I'm not sure I understand. It's known about because this is what researchers have spotted. Stronger than mere theory. Well, I don't know if it is stronger than mere theory because it can't be proven. There may be reasons for what happened, but these anomalies need to be explained. And the skeptics, the believers in the Apollo official story, I don't think have ever explained them to a proper satisfaction. So I hope that's a suitable answer. If not, then feel free to make another. Leave the World Behind review. Oh, Gary Robinson. Not watched this yet, but we'll make the effort to put it on this week. And that's 9 days ago. Gary, you've got a treat in store for you, mate. I'll tell you. You really have. David, Splendid Isolation. Was she as much of a bitch as you thought? Alright, I was wondering who you meant, Ruth or Amanda, because both of them are bitches. She buys him the cigarettes after giving him the stare at his intimacy suggestion. It implies he can have sex with her for 15 minutes before the kids come back. Oh, well, you don't see what happens next, obviously, because it's not that kind of film. But I think she was a bitch, yeah. I think she was domineering, controlling, manipulative, and I think treated him disrespectfully. And he didn't object. He just bent his back and took it. And like my dad does with women, especially my mum. So yeah, she was a bitch. And like I said, if people say, well, what would you do if you were one of the characters? Well, I said the first thing I would do. What would I do if I was Clay? Well, if she tried that on me, I mean, she'd get a nasty shock. I mean, literally, I couldn't put up with it. She'd basically be under the patio in 5 minutes. But in a sort of post-apocalyptic situation, it's much simpler. You just tie her up somewhere, and the zombies can come and eat her. That's what I would do. Gary Robinson has watched it now. Brilliant. I think it's definitely possible to go too far when analysing movies. This is Gary on Leave the World Behind. When The Irishman came out, there was a lot of theorising about certain scenes, including a tracking shot of a corridor in a retirement home, which featured a statue of the Virgin Mary. Right, I've not seen that film, Gary. A number of theories as to the meaning of this shot were posted online and eventually made it to the attention of Martin Scorsese. He went on to say that none of the theories were true. His explanation to most of them was simply that he did the shots in the simplest way possible because he's old and doesn't have the strength to mess about too much. On the flip side, Stanley Kubrick's movies were full of hidden messages, and the number of letters exist which he wrote in response to people who had contacted him as they wanted him to confirm if their theories about his movies were correct. And in some cases, he confirmed they were right on the money. Yeah, I mean, there were several I've spotted which apparently were red herrings, like the disappearing ornament in Eyes Wide Shut and things like that. But most of the time, yeah, I mean, a lot of these things were deliberate. He was known to be meticulous. He was one of the most detailed and detailed and intricate technical filmmakers in history. I mean, he started planning Eyes Wide Shut as long ago as 1968. He got the idea that's when he first got the idea to adapt Albert Schnitzel's Dream Story. So that's when he first got the idea. Right, Gary Robinson continues on another comment. P.S. I forgot to mention that the over-analysing of movies goes right back to my comments in regard to Colin's Star Wars talks, in that you can literally theorise anything about anything that's on screen. For example, I can claim that in Leave the World Behind, an abandoned tractor symbolises the collapse of agricultural food production, which will result in Billy Boy Gates opening his Blade Runner 2049 protein farms, growing maggots for us to eat as a replacement for food. Well, all right, Gary. Yes, Gary is referring to something that I said in this review. I noticed there was an abandoned tractor, or it looked like it was abandoned in the field, in the scene where Clay meets the Hispanic woman on the road. It could have just been parked there. I agree. It's possible it was simply parked there. But I just did wonder if it was in a film which is already known to contain a lot of hidden messages. One of which I've only just discovered, the White Lion reference, which sort of makes sense when you consider the political motivation in these films. Yeah. Okay. So Gary carries on. I agree with you in regards to the shot of the deer looking very reminiscent of the ceremony scene in Eyes Wide Shut. Interestingly enough, Bob Ager, who is a well-known YouTube film analyst, recently spoke with Stanley Kubrick's producer Jan Harlan, in which he asks him about the supposed deleted scenes from the movie, which, as I'm sure you'll probably know, are rumoured to be somewhat on the questionable side in terms of what they depict. Gary, yes, I have. I mean, it's always said that there were deleted scenes in every movie. I mean, that's the way films are made. Is basically you film for about 4 hours. You film about 4 hours of production, and then you just edit it down for like an hour and a half or whatever it is. This is why I love the deleted scenes in films. The film Silent Night had some brilliant deleted scenes in. Jan Harlan claimed that this edit of the movie never existed, but to be honest, I'm not totally convinced. Me neither. I mean, we know that it was filmed very oddly enough on like TV aspect ratio. So you won't find a widescreen version of it. It was filmed in like that, with that frame. Gary continues, you'll most likely remember Carl James of RPTV talking with RDH about this as well. I think this was back in 2019. Yes, Carl, I've interviewed Carl as well myself, and I know Carl. I see him at several events, and yeah, he makes a good point. I mean, I do wonder. I do wonder whether Kubrick's involvement in the moon landings. I do question. I think it's possible he had insider knowledge on it. Would he have been a collaborator? No way. I agree with Vivian Kubrick. They would never offer this sort of position to someone like her father, who he's a man with a lot of moral courage, and he was good friends with Andrei Tarkovsky as well, the Soviet filmmaker, and so a bit of that would have sort of there'd be a few security red flags on that in the Cold War. So yeah. Right, again, Apollo Detectives 13, Diego Rivera. It is time that NASA confesses to the fraud. I gave him a love heart for that already. Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? Yes. Right, same video, Gary Robinson. Ben, mate, I watched Leave the World Behind last night, based on your recommendation, and I have a question in regards to the scene which features the shot of the flag on the moon. I noticed that in the movie the flag was completely frozen with no movement. Is this how it will be in real life, or is the fact that it's completely still in the movie another hidden meaning of some kind? Probably not. I mean, it's interesting that these space scenes were very interesting in the film, that you see a lot of shots of the Earth from space. What you do is you see a movie, it's completely grey, and it looks like it's kind of like frazzled a bit, like it's a bit tattered. I don't know specifically. I've heard that if the flag were there, probably the fabric wouldn't exist today. It's quite likely that the fabric has been completely worn away by micrometeorite impacts, and excuse me. Indeed, we know that the flag on the Mir space station, when they replaced the Soviet hammer and sickle with the Russian tricolor in 1991, they found that the original flag it was like threadbare because of micrometeorite impacts, and that's in low Earth orbit. On the moon, after even longer, probably the flag's not even there. They depict it as grey, like it's been covered with lunar dust or something. But of course, how would the lunar dust get on there unless there was some kind of wind, indicating maybe this is actually in a studio? I mean, I'm going off on a tangent here, but that's an interesting question, Gary. Very much. Right, Leave the World Behind live stream, Hugo Rune. Ben, help me, please visit. Maybe Hugo. It's, as I said, emotionally it'll be difficult for me, but maybe I will at some point. Yeah. Leave the World Behind live stream. DJ B2. Ben, I will watch Silent Night first for the Christmas Eve stream. Don't worry about adding this to a comments reply. Alright, well, I've already done it. But, DJ, I hope you enjoyed it. Hugo says, more spliffs in the tin. Come on, people, challenge me. Alright. Right. Oh, DJ B just says, just watch Silent Night. Fantastic. Oh, nice one, DJ. Glad you enjoyed it. I mean, it's it's something, I wouldn't say I enjoy it, but I find it fascinating. I mean, I find it, like I said, I find it quite tragic and depressing, really. But yeah. Ian Gosling. Never heard of it, but thoroughly put off by the hype and video on YouTube like, what's the meaning of the deer bullshit. This is what happens in a world where there is no God. People are in a desperate search for meaning. Perhaps this is you, Ben. Oh, Ian Gosling. Mate, I can't say that's not the case. I mean, I'm not an atheist. I'm not. I'm kind of... I do believe in a consciousness to the universe, which it's convenient to call God. But... maybe a lot of people searching this video up and down, watching it over and over again, obviously getting a lot of ad revenue for the producers. I'm sure they're encouraging this sort of thing. What's the meaning of the deer? Yep. Well, in fact, the director's already explained what the meaning of the deer is. I think he did say that he wanted to make the animals behave strangely, just to. I forgot what he said. It's something like it's a way of how people would feel in a world where things weren't making any sense anymore. It just added to the strangeness it added to the general strangeness of the atmosphere and it is a very atmospheric film. For all its flaws, that is done very well in the movie. So, I mean, deer don't normally behave like that, you see. They've got the deer basically behaving like dogs. Hanging around people, wanting to communicate, things like that. Yeah. Leave the World Behind live stream. Donna Wellham. Hi, Ben. I hope you're okay. Hope all okay with you, and I hope you have had a Merry Christmas and New Year. Thank you very much, Donna. You too. Hope you had a lovely Christmas. I've spoken to you on Facebook anyway. Tessa1111. Leave the World Behind live stream. I've just baked mincemeat squares, pie in a cookie sheet. Excuse my nose is itching. With almond flavoured frosting. My Welsh grandma taught me how to bake it and makes the mincemeat from scratch. Green tomatoes too. Oh, nice. Oh, Tessa, my stomach's rumbling just thinking about that. Thank you very much. Leave the World Behind review. We have here Shalomaz. Great review. Far better than the movie. Get your bunkers ready. Thanks, Shalom. Much appreciated. Right, the Basis Project 2023 Christmas seminars. Oh, by the way, Shalom, I don't have a bunker, and I don't think I'm going to get one. I don't think I will. Popcorn Boxing says on Basis Project 2023 Christmas seminars. Timestamp 3:24. It's early on in the movie.
Well, we'll see how it goes anyway. But I could have got the bus all the way, but I thought I'd treat myself, get the train. A single ticket actually is not that much more than...
honestly, Popcorn, if I'd known what was going to happen, I would have got the bus. I mean, this is really quite something. You mentioned... Oh, sorry, it says here, by design, bro, messing up the institutions such as transport and NHS. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if they wanted to mess up the railways, they couldn't be doing a better job than they are now. Let's just think about how often have I travelled by train in the last 6 months? About 5 times. And the first one actually was for St Theo, if you remember. I actually tried to get to the Horton General Hospital. Then there was a couple other times, and then of course there was this one. I had to. You haven't seen the video yet, but I was halfway through making a video, which I think you will find interesting because I'm going to finish it in the new year. I had to abandon. I had to cancel the project or postpone the project because basically I was standing on Didcot Station platform and they were saying don't travel. We recommend you don't travel. It was that bad. And of course then there was the massive cock-ups when I was going to both when I was on my way there and when I was on my way back. There were all kinds of delays and weather problems and stuff like that. So basically, at least 3 out of the last 5 times I've travelled by train in the last 6 months, there's been massive breakdowns in the system, which is in 2 cases, caused me to postpone or cancel my journey. I mean, I'm going away for the new year. I'm actually leaving on New Year's Eve to go and visit some friends. I will be making a video of that, by the way, and you'll recognise the friends when you see them. I thought I could. I'm actually getting the coach now. It's an 8-hour journey on the coach. 8 hours, 7.5 to 8 hours on the coach. I have to go to London and then change, right? And I started thinking to myself, I must be crazy. I must be crazy when I could just get on the train and be there in 3.5 hours. But there's two. Firstly, the coach is a lot cheaper, and secondly, if I opt to go by train yet again, will I even get there? Will I even get there? Especially with Storm Gerrit and whatever else is going on at the moment. I mean, you know, you got to plan for these things. I mean, there's headlines about 5 more storms coming our way. You know, as if storms are a rare thing. Maybe they're the wrong kind of storms, and the trains are going to go down again for New Year's Eve. So I'm glad I'm getting the coach. Leave the World Behind the live stream. We have ZAQKT2OG says boring movie. Right, I think you're probably referring to the film itself, not my review. In which case, I don't think it's boring. I mean, I hope you don't mean my live stream is boring when you say boring movie. Well, if you do, I say I'm sorry you didn't like it. I think I disagree with you. Leave the World Behind is not boring, I don't think. I think it is. It's actually quite gripping, but it's weird. It has a lot of weirdness about it. Dane the Kid says, Merry Christmas, Ben matey, on Christmas Eve live stream. You're welcome, Dane. Merry Christmas to you too. Mr. Janison says, Merry Christmas, Ben. Merry Christmas, Mr. Janison. And well, we have a thread here. I'm not seeing the chat, says Gary Robinson. Now this is, and I explain here. I put in a text saying, I'm sorry, I don't know why this is. I selected the show to show it on recording. It might appear after the processing is complete. And then Gary says, no worries, mate. Must have been a YouTube glitch. I wasn't able to access it on my phone or my TV, which I usually can do. Merry Christmas, mate. Pride and dignity to all. And Jam Noise says, Merry Christmas, G. Right, let me just have a look. Let me just have a look at this. What happens normally is you do like a... I often select to display the chat. My settings are the chat gets displayed. And let's have a look. And, Hugo says, I think Santa is eating. And it is now, right? Okay. The live chat is actually visible at the moment on Christmas Eve live stream. What happens is after the live stream finishes, it processes for a while. It processes for a bit, and then when it's a bit annoying actually, because when you do the live stream, it usually takes about 12 hours to process. You can't download it in that time, because I want to download it and get it up onto other platforms, and I can't like record on StreamYard. I might try a different streaming service actually. Maybe I can record on there. So I've got to wait until it's processed, and so I usually go to work the next day thinking, oh god, will it disappear? Will YouTube yeet the bloody live stream before I get a chance to download it and things like that? It hasn't happened yet, but it could, and it's only after that processing is complete you can actually see the live chat, and I can download it. But if you go there now, you will be able to see it. Oh, what's this? Oh, I've got a text off somebody. Right. Ravenhill, the Cryptic of 1968, another nice new name from Ravenhill, says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, mate. And I say, thanks, Ravenhill. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and yours, I said in reply. And then Dipsy Mum says, in a lovely, strange Dipsy Mum, that's a good name, on Christmas Eve live stream too. Just Ravenhills was also on that video. Merry Christmas, Ben, with lots of like little symbols between the letters, and I say, thanks, Dipsy Mum. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Swear It says on, I think it says on Christmas Eve live stream, Merry Christmas, and again I put in a text reply. Swear It also says Krampus is Sweden, is it? Oh right, it's Swedish. You mean? What is Krampus? Let's have a look. Because I've heard of Krampus. Let's see what Wikipedia says. Krampus search. Is a horned anthropomorphic figure who, in Central and Eastern Alpine folkloric traditions, is said to accompany St. Nicholas on visits to children during the night. Alright. Alright, it says Alpine here. Not Scandinavian, but yeah. Maybe you find it in... Maybe you can find it in... that's interesting. It's sort of like almost a demonic figure, but black, not red. That's interesting. Thanks, I didn't know that, Ferret. Peter Bernard says on Christmas Eve live stream, never had a hangover after Jameson's. Oh, well, I have, Peter. Mind you, maybe you don't drink it into excess. GS Evolved says, Merry Christmas to you, Ben. Merry Christmas, GS Evolved. Christmas Eve live stream. Donna Wellham, hi, Ben. Love the picture behind you. Merry Christmas Eve. Thanks, Donna. Thank you very much. Donna Wellham also says on the same video, you got to be careful what you post and share. They are censoring a lot these days, which is sad. Oh, God, tell me about it. I know. It's a bloody nightmare. Alan McBride, Merry Christmas, Ben. Merry Christmas, Alan. Tessa1111, have the most joyeux Christmas ever. Lots of love and joy. Thanks, Tessa. You know, I think that was Morgoth who said Merry joyeux Christmas. Joyeux is French. It just means joyous, as in happy, you know. But yeah, Morgoth did that on his Christmas message. He says, Happy joyeux Christmas. Christmas Eve live stream. Stan Smith says, typical elite, turning a good guy like St. Nicholas into Santa Satan. A cunt. Merry Christmas. All. Well, he's not. I mean, he's only in the Dutch version, is he? And then obviously in the Alpine one. Stan, Bad Santa is probably the best Christmas movie. Alright, I've not seen that. I've seen the one where he says, "Oi, bitch, get out of the way. Get out of here." It was turned into a song. I think that was what was it called? Someone really wants... Oh, I know who that is, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was called Santa Sleigh, that was it. Leave the World Behind review. Bluebeam says, it's quite interesting how almost everyone of the Trump media is calling any UFO hearing a distraction from Biden investigation. Very awful. I know, and I think that is wrong. It's not a distraction. I mean, it's not just the Trump media. I mean, some people in the conspiracy sphere are saying this. I've been personally criticised for even having an interest in this subject, and you know, it's very backslapperish actually. They're saying, Ben, can't you see it, man? It's a distraction. I can see it because I'm superior to you, man, and you're naive, and I'm streetwise, man. And it's annoying because I don't think it is. And I tried to explain, and very often when you try to be rational when other people are not, it very often falls on deaf ears. But if you want to distract people from the Biden investigation, whatever, the black books and Hunter and his laptop and stuff like that, there are simpler and more effective ways of doing it than making up stories about aliens. I mean, a celebrity sex scandal will do the trick, and it works perfectly well. So why are they suddenly making up stories about aliens? JFK 60 live streams. Ferret says, I watched that live as a kid in Canada with my mum. 58 years later, I can still see it. Oh, right, Ferret. Well, Ferret, it's actually 60 years, not 58. Same video, Ferret says, sorry, not live. I think what you mean is sorry you didn't see it live. Alright, well, I mean, I do upload notices for every live stream, and I know not everyone sees them, which is probably because YouTube won't... YouTube, I think, are messing with me big time. I mean, I think they're filling with my viewing figures. They're also Blogger are doing that. I'm certain that they are trying to... What they're trying to do is they're trying to make you give up by claiming, oh, look, nobody's watching you. Look, you're only getting 10 views on this article. I think they're trying to make you give up. It's not going to work, I'll tell you. Highway Star 4931 says Christmas Eve live stream. Merry Christmas to you, Ben, and the family. Thanks, same to you, Highway Star. Ian R. Right, here's an old one. Ian R. Crane dies. Colette 214 says, came to Ireland a lot. He's a great speaker. All right. Thanks, Colette. I assume you're not Mark, Colette. But yeah, it's been a while now. I must say about 2023, and I'll say more about this because I will do like a live stream and then just after the new year. We haven't had quite the run of fatalities as we did in previous years, and we have just lost Janet Ossabat, which is a shame. But yeah, but I'll say more about that. Conscious Spirit says on Christmas Eve live stream, Happy Christmas, Ben. Happy Christmas, Conscious Spirit. Thank you very much. And then finally, so the last YouTube one, Apollo Detectives 13 New Sea Rock Evidence. Jorge Rodriguez says, straight to the point to the Apollo Detectives, so that all you can say about the moon landing. Well, I did try to make my little talking head session as short and to the point as possible, you know. Anyway, that, my friends, is... here we go. All of YouTube, so I'm now going to go to BitChute. Oh, okay, BitChute. What do we have here? I had to pause there for a moment because I had to bloody log in. It logs you out every so often. It does it in these really annoying kind of moments. All right, guys. So what I'll do is, as always on BitChute, I will go to the actual videos that I've uploaded since the last comments reply video, and then I will go to the notification list. So reply to comments 87. discuss this video? Yes, I do. What have I got here? Oh, loads. Oh, there's loads. What have I got here? Oh, my God. Hugo Rune. Hugo, do you mind if I don't put... Do you mind awfully if I don't put like a notice on every single one of these comments? Hugo has gone nuts here, I'll tell you. Okay, can I treat all these as a single comment? Is that alright? 30 spliffs in my tin, enjoying this video. Thank you. Hello, Jam Noise and all. Oh, thank you, Hugo. Hugo says, sadly, my travelling days are over. I'm not able to visit Jam Noise. Yes, but we can visit you. You know, Jam Noise just suggested this. And seriously, that's when the weather gets nicer. Maybe we should. Hugo, a villain in a wheelchair. Yes, not on the BBC, mate. Lolling here, that's me. I grew cannabis. Thanks, Ben, but sadly not anymore. Hugo, that's true. You are a wheelchair villain, aren't you? You were on TV. You were on TV as a monster. You were the Nottinghamshire cannabis monster, weren't you? Well, Russell T Davies didn't go up to you and say, Hugo, can you like get some crutches out and pretend to be able to walk for a while, because we don't want that. We don't want a villain who's in a wheelchair now, do we? No. Hugo, the only American state I was interested in was Hawaii. Oh yes, well Hawaii's very interesting actually. Yeah, but I'm interested in others as well. Oh yes, Robert Rankin's Hugo Rune. Rankin was a brilliant author. No, Ben, I was using cannabis long before my accident back in my army days. I remember you saying, yeah, Holland, around 1977, and every country I visited afterwards. 33 in all? Oh, I see, well, you mentioned that before, yeah, you did. Cannabis deaths, 0. Alcohol deaths? ? I know, mate, I know. But alcohol is, was it Bill Hicks says? Ah, yes, but alcohol is a nice taxable drug, yeah. Hugo, C-word, what a joke. My well-trained immune system. I have not noticed C-word, honestly. I never get colds. Hey, good, well, you know, you can actually say cannabis, I think. When I say C-word, I usually mean COVID. Of course, I'm not averse to I don't habitually swear, but if I want to say cunt, I'll say cunt. When I say C-word, I mean, like, the thing COVID, which you can't really say. Well, I don't think it matters anymore, but you used to not be able to say that on YouTube. Hugo, T-Rex, thank you, from my youth. But the visit, I did not know. Right, I don't know the visit. Right, but T-Rex was of course that band, yeah, the band, which was quite. I know that a lot of the people at Truth Seekers Northeast love T-Rex. Some of them are like these lovely old ladies. I mean, some of them are quite hot actually. You know, I like old ladies. Oh, yes, I do. But some of them are pretty hot. But they like T-Rex, yeah. Hugo, Santa Bar humbug. Hugo, for me, blue ribboned. Right, you didn't get the Mandela effect like I did. It was always blue ribboned for you, blue ribboned. Yeah, it wasn't for me, and for a lot of people. As I said, even on the TV advert, I noticed the comments, and in fact, I addressed the first comment I saw was someone saying, I remember it as blue ribbon. Hugo, wow, I did comment a lot. Sorry, everyone. Don't apologise, Hugo. I appreciate it. I like it. Hugo, I want to challenge the system. I admit on here that I grew cannabis. You did, and I've seen the news clip with you in, yeah. Hugo Rue, mouth off, lolling, thank you. Sorry, Ben, we'll shut up. Oh, Hugo, you're fine, mate, don't worry about it. Thank you for those. Right, Apollo Detectives 13. I'm glad Hugo's got used to using alt tech, actually, because it's probably a good habit to get into, considering the way bloody, the way the friggin' YouTube's going. Alright, so we have here Wormspleen. Hello, detectives. Riddle me this. What the fuck is going on with Steve Bassett's eyeballs? Mulder and Scully, Snoopy and the gang, even Detective Monk have failed to come up with a reasonable explanation for Bassett's eye anomalies. We are almost in 2024, and this is no time to waste on gatekeeping for novices. We are literally at the very edge. So show us your salt, detectives. What are you dealing with? P.S. Ben, be sure to keep the plonk under the bed fully stocked for the upcoming disclosure. Won't be far off now, consider it prepping advice. Well, I'm thinking of picking up a bit of Prosecco, mate, yeah, because the last one corked and I had to chuck it out, but yeah, but anyway, what is this? Steve Bassett's eyeballs. Oh, right, oh, this is Wormspleen's video. Don't know how much of this you can see. White House ET UK.
Stephen Bassett, who
this is Alfred Weather.
is the
oh my! Oh
executive
what?
director.
What the bloody? His eyes went strange. You can't see this, right? But his eyes went weird. Oh, can I do anything about this? I don't know if I can do anything. No, I can't. But anyway, just simply go to this video here. I'll show it to you. Worm Spleen. There's Worm Spleen's channel. He posted it on the July the 29th of this year, so you can find the video. But his eyes sort of like go. Steve's eyes sort of like go. They open up wide, and his pupils. It's a bit like that. Oh, it's like that Second Coming. I mean, the Second Coming I've talked about before, which is by Russell T Davies, ironically. Yeah, I mean, it could be an effect of the video. I don't know, but
executive director, who is the executive director.
His eyes go weird. Worm Spleen. I don't know what that is. I mean, I just hope he's all right. All right. So now we have XSDNA. That's XS, literally X and S and DNA. This is very interesting, but I question Robert Williams's contribution. He said, "I put this picture into Adobe After Effects, the $600 a year version, it was clearly hair follicle. You can see it was hair follicle. All right, that refers to the C-Rock, I think. Oh, Adobe After Effects is used to create video special effects, usually in short video sequences. It can do stuff like motion tracking, so you can superimpose an explosion for an action shot, or create an animated logo, etc. All right. Someone, I think, suggested this for Ashton Forbes' stuff for XSDNA. XSDNA continues. This isn't to say you can't import an image and scale it up, but why? This would be like saying, quote, I can't tell what instrument is in the music, so I went to listen to it on my own on my off-road lorry, and there's definitely a piano playing, unquote. In other words, there's a lot of background noise. Is that what you mean? XS continues. So, do you need an off-road lorry to listen to music? I'm sure it's... Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. I'm sure it's possible, but any old radio would, in fact, will do. The off-road lorry has nothing to do with it other than to try and mine's better than yours won over on the debate. Back to the images. That means that Adobe Photoshop, or even free apps that have any image viewer with a zoom function, have equal ability. Does Photoshop have some algorithm to try and clear up messy pictures? Yes, but it can't make up details that weren't previously there. Mentioning the After Effects, the off-road lorry most people don't have, or Adobe $600 annual subscription is, in my opinion, a deliberate attempt to try and confuse the audience via I have this really expensive piece of software that you probably never used, and that gives me the special ability to zoom in that you don't, so it's really obvious what this anomaly is, only to me, unquote. This is nonsense. Alright, Access DNA. Well, maybe you're right. I mean, I think that's something you'll have to put to Robert. I mean, do you think maybe he was bragging a bit? I mean, people do. I mean, it could be he just... From what you said, it's simply maybe he was bragging a bit. He just added this little detail in to make himself sound more sophisticated to people who may not know. I mean, a lot of people do that habitually. I mean, to be honest, I've spotted myself doing it. And I think it may be just something instinctive. Either way, I mean, it's not, as you say, it's not relevant to the point. It's like the off-road lorry thing, it's not relevant to the point. So thanks for that information anyway. So that's everything on Apollo Detectives. Now we go on to Leave the World Behind review. I bet BitChute commenters have a lot to say about this, because it tends to be one of their hobby horses. Okay. No comments! All right. Well, thanks a lot. Hang on, though. There is the live stream. Let's have a look. Leave the World Behind live stream. Discuss this video. Oh, we got Hugo Rune again. All right. Okay, Hugo. I'll put one. I'm just going to put one notice on. That should be enough. Okay. For anyone come round and share a spliff? Got plenty in my tin. Oh, right. The last time I had a spliff, I was in a bit of a state. Hugo, unfortunately, no gun here. I'd kill myself. I'm trying with cannabis. Alcohol, quote, or question mark, remember? That's what you need to do. I know you're kidding me. Yes, please visit. Spliffs are plenty. It freaks me out, quote, they'd have to kill me before I die, unquote. Mince pie Christmas bollocks. Oh, it's not bollocks. That's one of the nicest things about mince pies. Racism. Oh, Hugo Rune. Here we go. Racism makes me laugh. I care nothing for colour. If you are a woman, I want sex. 34 countries I visited. All right. I thought it was 33. Now it's 34. All right. But I believe you. I believe you've been to a lot of countries. Probably so many you've lost count. If you're a woman, I want sex. Well, Hugo, you know that's only normal. And I know you're into Japanese ladies, so you care nothing for colour or. Yeah, I know you like Japanese ladies, and you like Jam Noise, who's black. So yeah. Leave the world behind. Use cannabis. Yes, that's an interesting little code in the title there. Thank you, Ben. You're a good man, Ben. Thank you. Sorry, everyone. Oh, Hugo, don't apologise. And finally, Christmas Eve live stream. This is the last video I uploaded to BitChute. Obviously, I've got some old tech exclusives coming up, as you'll know if you watch regularly. Discuss this video. No comments. Right. Okay. So now we move on to Odyssey. And as you know, if you follow me on Odyssey, you'll know that I have done some alt tech exclusives. Right, so let's just how am I going to do this? Comments. I've got a lot of comments because if what you do is they actually appear on the comments actually appear on the videos. This is what's interesting. If you do like a live stream on alt tech, certainly on YouTube, you get any live comments get translated into. They get translated into actual comments. Okay, but anyway, we'll go through the whatever's on here anyway. I'll go through the actual videos first because they get a bit lost on the comments notifications.
Conspiracies,
right, what we got here? It's reply to comment 87. No comments. Okay, Apollo Detectives 13. New Sea Rock evidence. No comments. Leave the world behind review. No comments. Leave the world behind live stream. Nothing that seems is in his car. 2 comments. Okay. Denial of error. Merry Christmas to you, Ben. We're looking forward to this, so I don't know. Looking forward to this, so I don't have to watch it. I enjoy your takes on films, and I actually put in a text comment. Thanks, DOE. Merry Christmas. Then Odyssey live stream test. Right, this obviously is an Odyssey exclusive. Right. 2 comments. Oh, this is my test live stream. Israel Diego Rivera, Genius to the Real Genius, says, good test live stream, but you forgot the Christmas hat. And I put in here, I don't have one this year. Merry Christmas, Diego. Merry Christmas Eve, Diego, yeah. Thanks, Diego. Right, Christmas Eve live stream. This obviously is a recording from YouTube. This is not the exclusive. I've got one downvote and no uploads. Right, no comments. Right, again now with Christmas Day live stream. Now this is my Odyssey exclusive, so this is not going to be uploaded to any other platform. This is my Christmas. This is the whole point of it, was to so it'd be like a. Right. Oh, 57 comments. Right, this is like most of these are simply live stream comments which I've already answered. Jam Noise. Right, I had 3 people in the live stream. Jam Noise 72, Seth Aaron Fletcher. Right, and Dark Corner. Right, Dark Corners. I think Dark Corners might be actual. Were they live comments? Let's have a look. So obviously I don't have to reply to the live comments that were on there, which are now underneath there. But yeah, 3 days, 2 days, 3 days. All right, these are actual. Just I think Dark Corners are actually old ones. Oh yes, in fact, Dark Corners UK says, hi Ben, looking forward to the stream, watching it on Boxing Day. Right, Dark Corners, I hope you enjoyed it, mate. I hope you enjoyed it. And Dark Corners says, some say that Jesus spent his lost years in Tibet studying Buddhism. I think he did, actually. I think he did. I think, as I said, he went. We know there's evidence that he was buried in Srinagar, Pakistan, which was a Buddhist, and there's still an active monastery there after all these years. Yeah. Right. And then right. Someone Paper Beats Rock is back, and has replied to Jam Noise, because Jam Noise said here he would have been olive-skinned with dark hair. This is referring to Jesus, his racial category. And Paper Beats Rock says in reply to Jam Noise that by that ill-informed logic. Why is that ill-informed? Oh, anyway, by that ill-informed logic, because of London's demographic shift, Winston Churchill would have been olive-skinned with dark hair. You do know that Nazareth was a Greek enclave in the time of Jesus. I take it you've seen what the ancient Greeks looked like. Right, well, Paper Beats Rock. Right, firstly, it's not ill-informed logic. You can't. I don't think you can compare modern London to, first century. What is today Palestine, Israel. You can't compare the two. In Judea, Galilee, you can't compare the two. It may have been a Greek enclave, and during the time of the Roman Empire, actually, there was a lot of travel everywhere. I mean, so you would have had foreign communities in many, many parts of the world. In fact, there was a grave found in York of a woman who was clearly of African descent. Quite a well-off lady, actually. She had a lot of expensive jewellery in the grave with her. So yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that during the Roman Empire people travelled in a lot of places. Well, however, Jesus was part of what we would today call the Sephardic Jewish community, which still exists 2,000 years later in that location. And racially, they would look pretty much exactly the same, because they tend to have marriages with each other, and especially in those days, I think marrying outside that community would have been frowned upon. So Jesus would have looked pretty much like today's Palestinians and Sephardic Jews. Olive skin, dark hair. That kind of thing. So Jam Noise is not ill-informed at all. That's actually perfectly normal logic. Okay, so now we'll go on to the next video. That was the last? Yep, that was the last video. And we're just coming to the end of an hour, actually, and that's actually pretty good timing, because... No, hang on. No, it's not, actually, because I forgot. I've still got to go and just double check the comments notifications, and I'll do that in the next hour. Okay, guys, back for hour number 3. I hope you're all doing well. Oh, of course, it's not live, is it? So I don't know what you mean. What do you mean, Ben? What do you mean? Anyway, we're still on. Well, we're on now. Not BitChute notifications, Odyssey notifications. I didn't do BitChute notifications, did I? Oh dear. I didn't do BitChute notifications. What kind of idiot am I? Oh, let's go back to BitChute then. I expect some of you were shouting at the screen just then earlier on. Ben, you didn't do the BitChute notifications! Alright, I'll do the BitChute notifications now then. Will that be alright? Yeah, I've always got to go through the BitChute notification list, which is a bit tedious. It doesn't often get me any kind of like results, but occasionally, people sometimes put old comments put new comments on the old videos. They find the old videos, and I need to find them. Now, obviously, I can't go through every single comment, every single video, every single time, because I've got over 1,000 uploads on BitChute. What I can do is I can, well, now since Ray has decided to install this notification system, I can go through those, and very often that's how I detect these old comments on videos. So yeah, there are a few problems with it. For example, the notification disappears if you happen to look at the video yourself. So you have to make a note of any new comments. If you're going to look at an old video, you always have to make a note of any new comments you find. What's the... Oh, new comment. Oh, that's me. Okay. Funny enough, the notification provides me with my own comments. And that's interesting, isn't it? They provide me with my own comments. I'll just double check JFK 60 live stream, actually, just in case I missed one there. So we'll double check that. Okay, this is always like a little bit of a play amongst yourselves moment. Come on in. And that's it. Yeah, is that it? Yes, I think that's it. Right, leave the wall. Right. Oh, that's Hugo there. Right. What's this? This is Comments. That's all Hugo. Hugo's comments are on there. Yeah, I've already answered those. That's a reply to on. That's Sweeps Fox. That's on a different video. Okay. So basis projects, seminars. That's me. All right. I think we're nearly done now. Yep, that's it. Okay. So as always, back to the top. Mark all as read. There we go. I just got to wait for it to react when I do that. Come on, don't ruin the effect for me. Mark all as read. And while it's doing that, I'll get Rumble. I'll just open Rumble. There we go. Okay. The page isn't working. What? Oh, hang on, don't say Rumble's down. Rumble. Oops, it looks like Rumble might be down. I'll just double check anyway. Let's just go to, here we go. I'll just delete, okay, and delete all. It could be Rumble's down, in which case what I'll have to do if Rumble's down, I'm not going to like delay the video. What I will do is I will simply, any comments that are posted on Rumble, I generally don't get many. Any that were posted on Rumble, I will simply postpone for the next comments reply video. Let's have a look. Oh, well, it seems to be opening. The page is now... Oh, no. Box... Oh, right, yeah, seems to be some problems here. 3 comments loading. All right, I do... What I've got is this kind of page. Look, I'll show you. It's all just basic, like, it hasn't formed properly. That's what it looks like. So it appears Rumble is having a few tech problems right now. Loading 3 comments. Right. Let's try my other Rumble videos then. There we go, Rumble. I mean, I went through the... I recorded, you see, it's a good job I did that, actually. I didn't just make a note of where the old ones were. I didn't just make a note. Loading comments. I didn't just make a note, I actually... Oh, what's this? This is weird. Okay. I actually copied and pasted the actual comments from the Stefan Molyneux Afterlife video, the ones by that silly Australian. It's quite amusing. Rumble, here we go. I'm just opening all the Rumble ones now. So I know I haven't had any Rumble comments, which were older posts. I haven't had any Rumble comments that I believe were... Come on, right. There we go, and that's the last one. Okay. I don't think I've had any Rumble comments that were like older than my most recent uploads. Right, let's just refresh and see if it's got over it yet. Oh, it's got over it now. Great. Because it seems to have recovered now. Anyway, okay. So Boxing Day live stream. It's now working. I'll show you. It's now. You see, it's now working. There we go. Boxing Day live stream. This is my Rumble exclusive. And Seth Aaron Fletcher says here. Sorry I missed it. Oh, right. Get the notice, Ben. Get the notice. All right. Yes, I will. I'll get to notice. Hang on. There we go. It's okay. 3rd hour now. We're on the 3rd hour. Sorry, technical problems happen at a bad time then. Okay. Now I've got to add a few random letters and numbers because of... But Rumble won't let you add even on the entire platform. It's not just the same video. It won't let you add the comment twice, the same comment twice, even if it's like a notification. Alright, so now what's happening? It won't even know it's not posting comments. Okay, so Seth Aaron Fletcher, I've already given you like a text comment anyway. And we have here it's actually worked. Okay. Now we have Tulin who says, thanks, Ben. Oh, you're welcome, Tulin. Actually, I'll just put a text comment here, and I will put this in. Here we go. And then, there we go, a few random letters there. So I have to add random letters just so I'm not posting the same comment twice, because Rumble, in its beneficence, has decided you can't post the same comment twice on the entire platform ever, even if it's just like a comments reply notification or something. Okay, so Christmas Eve live stream, no comments. Right, page not working, alright. Right, here we go. Rumble live stream test. Oh, right, okay. Oh, Blonde Indian, that's a good name. Says here, Blonde Idiom says, there, like... Oh, okay, wait. You are posting comments... What's this? You are posting comments too fast. Please wait 5 minutes before posting again. You must be joking. I'm not waiting 5 minutes. There, liked the test and following Ben the J-Porter here on Rumble. Ta-da! Okay, Blonde Indian. I actually put in a text reply here to Blonde Indian, so that'll have to do, I think. What I'll do is I'll wait. I'll just mention what's happened to Blonde Indian in a future video. This could be that normally, Rumble doesn't normally do that, which means, right, that there must be, maybe it's a technical problem. Leave the world behind. Live stream, no comments. Rumble chooses its time. It chooses its good times to have bloody technical problems. Leave the world behind. Review, no comments. The Apollo Detectives. Right, the X series. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. You remember my argument with the X series last time? Well, he's come back. Why have you sold out to the repetitive junk conspiracies, Ben? We thought you were a genuine light for truth. Why did you raise my comments and stab us in the back? Oh, good grief! All right, I just said, I just put in a text comment here. Could we keep this in? Could we keep this in proportion, please? I've not done that. I've explained why. I made many minor moderation actions. Stop overreacting. It's just, as I explained in the last comments reply video, it's so exhausting. It's so damned exhausting listening to these people. It wasn't even on bloody Rumble. It was one. Two of them were on Blogger, not Rumble. But I couldn't publish two of X Series' comments because they were literally there was actually criminal incitements to violence in them. And I tried to explain this to X Series, who's published dozens of comments on Rumble and on Blogger. And I said, look, there's 3 of them I couldn't publish. And he said, you're censoring me. You're stabbing me in the back. I can't deal with people who like this. I really can't. Okay, finally, reply to comments 87. No comments. Right, that's Rumble done. Oh, hang on, I've got a notification. I've got a notification on Rumble. Hang on a sec. Let's have a look. Hang on, I'm just not on screen share now, am I? Okay, I've got a notification. What's this? Loading your notifications. Tulin. Alright, okay, that's just Tulin. Alright. And Tulin has started following my channel. I will just have to say to Tulin, just thanks for following me. I'll add this. It doesn't have to be. I can do it afterwards. I can do this anytime, actually. I can just say, I can add like the notice, thank you for your comment. It'll be answered in approximately when. Oh, it's worked now. Okay, that's odd. It's worked. This is now all my bloody. They've all appeared all of a sudden. This is definitely a technical problem for Rumble. I'm deleting all the excess comments because every time I press submit, it actually did publish my comments, and so I've left one there for Seth Aaron Fletcher. Oh, good grief! And luckily the one I published for Tulin is also there. All right, and that I think is the end of Rumble. I'll just do a quick double check with email, just because things are playing up a little bit with Rumble. While I'm doing that, I will just simply go to my notifications. And I'll just see I'll just see now quickly. So my page, my internet's running very slow at the moment. Let me just go back to inbox. Just my internet's running slow, so we just have to wait for it to actually react. Come on! Oh, see, it's just messing around. So I'll just wait for a moment here and I'm trying to think of something to keep you entertained while I wait for the pages to open. Right. Okay, so search Rumble. I'll have to just have like a little script here to read. Right, you're currently subscribed to Lynn, currently subscribed, Seth Aaron Fletcher, you're currently subscribed, blah de blah de blah. Just go through these until it's mostly upnote. What's this? Alice Dennis has commented on Rumble livestream test. Right, when was this? Right, okay, Rumble livestream test. Okay, this is one I didn't look at. Yeah, good job. I just looked through these actually. Here we go. I did put a text comment in, but I'd like to put in add it to this video as well. 2 comments, right. Oh, it's been... Of course, I looked at this, didn't I? It's been deleted. They've deleted Alice Dennis's comment. All right, what it says here... Right, I know why this has been deleted. I know why this has been deleted. It's been deleted because I remember. Alice Dennis put a bloody... I can't actually say this. This is annoying because I thought you could say this on Rumble and they've deleted it. What Alice Dennis is basically saying is that she suffered from a very serious disease, and she described how she's describing here, and I'll preserve this. Actually, I'll put it in deleted items. I will actually put this in. I'll actually save this in one of my articles. Here we go. I'll actually save this. There we go. Let's cut and paste that. She basically she used some herbal medicine, locally made herbal medicine, to treat a very serious disease, and it worked. It actually had worked. And of course, Rumble unfortunately have deleted it. They've deleted that comment. So, well, it's bad. I mean, the whole purpose of coming to bloody Rumble is so we don't have this censorship that you have on YouTube and Twitter and other places. So what the hell are they doing? What the hell are they doing? Anyway, let me just refresh YouTube. I'll just go through any notifications I've had since I began filming this, and then we'll call it a night. We'll say that's comments reply done for this time. Okay. Oh, I've had 3 notifications. What are they? Black Sheep Detecting replied, "Thank you, Ben." All right. Okay. Well, Black Sheep Detecting is the one. For some reason, my original comment didn't appear on there. His original comment or her original comment didn't actually appear, so and they were complaining because I didn't answer them, and they said, "Thank you, Ben." Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, Black Sheep Detecting. But please feel free to actually post whatever your original comment was when you said disappointed my question was ignored. Well, feel free to post it, Black Sheep, whatever it is. And the other two are simply notifications for uploads on my list. So that's it, guys. That's reply to comments 88 finished. This is probably going to be the last video of 2023 because what's happening tomorrow? I'm preparing for the HPANWO show. The 30th, Saturday the 30th, I'll be doing the New Year HPANWO show. Please do tune into that. It's basically on HPANWO Radio, which you can find very easily if you find the HPANWO TV blog. There's a link on there for it. So please feel free to tune in 8 p.m. on Saturday. That's Saturday the 30th of December. 2.5 days away for the HPANWO show New Year special. Then on New Year's Eve, I'm heading off by coach, as I said, to see my friends. I won't be back until January. I'll be coming back on the evening of January the 2nd, so I'll be there New Year's Day as well. And then we'll make arrangements maybe for a New Year live stream, where we can do like a review of the predictions for 2024, that kind of thing. So thank you once again, all of you, for everyone who's posted a comment. It's been very much appreciated. As always, it's self-explanatory that this video requires your input to exist, and I appreciate that very, very much. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas. I hope you all have a wonderful New Year. Huge thank you to everyone who has watched, subscribed, commented, supported, shared, and everything else in terms of activity and interaction with the HPANWO TV channel on all its platforms during 2023. This is now my how many years have I been active now? This is like 18 years I've been doing this now, and I appreciate all of you for doing this. Really much appreciated. I think I started 2007, so you can work it out. Not quite 18 years. 2006 I started the HPANWO blog. That's 18 years. Thank you very much, all of you. And yes, lots more to come in 2024, including the video I started and didn't finish because of the bloody trains. I filmed half of it and had to leave it, but I will do the second half as a priority sometime in the new year. So please do keep your eyes open for that. Lots more, of course, coming in 2024. Thank you, all of you, for watching HPANWO TV. Don't get too drunk on New Year's Eve. You'll end up with a horrible hangover. But, I know you won't take my advice. Probably I won't either. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hospital Port as Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order.
Conspiracies, government cover-ups, Earth mysteries, monster cryptids, psyops, saucers and black triangles, HPANWO.